What's on your Mount Rushmore of pizza toppings?
Pizza toppings. 1-1, I'm probably going to go sausage, pepperoni, ham.
Yeah.
Olive? Double olive?
No vegetables, top 4.
Okay, all right.
So we got sausage, pepperoni, ham.
Finish this off.
Bacon would be...
Yeah,
Bacon.
That's
good.
good.
That's a really, really good Mount
you
Rushmore.
got all those 4. That's good.
Yeah.
What about on today's Pardon My Take, it is finals preview day. We have our good friend Ryen Russillo on to talk about the NBA finals, getting you ready for Thursday night, and our good friend Keith Yandle talking about the Stanley Cup final, getting ready for tonight. So we're ready to go with both finals. We're going to do some hot seat, cool throne. We have listener-submitted FAQs. The Knicks need a new head coach, and it's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. The NBA Finals are finally here, and this is your last shot to win some real cash before the season ends. The simplest way to get in on the action, downloading the Pick 6 app from DraftKings. It's crazy simple. Just pick more or less on the stats for 2 or more of your favorite players, and boom, you're in the mix for big cash prizes. No gimmicks, no weird rules, just ball. Nail your picks, and you're heating up. Pick 6 brings upside with payouts up to 500 times. Ready to make your finals run? Pick 6 is live in a ton of states: Texas, Cali, Georgia, Missouri, and lots more. And get this, all new Pick 6 customers will instantly get $50 in bonus picks on just a $5 entry, so you don't miss out don't miss your last shot to win some cash this NBA season. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. New customers play $5. Get $50 in bonus picks instantly. Ride the upside only on DraftKings. Pick 6. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by DraftKings. Don't miss your last shot to win some cash this NBA season. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. New customers play $5, get $50 in bonus picks instantly. Ride the upside only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Today is Wednesday, June 4th, and Thibs, you're fired.
See ya.
You're fired.
See ya, Thibs.
That was the news that we had today. Tom Thibodeau out as Knicks head coach after one of their best seasons in the last 25 years. Is that Jay Wright's music?
I think I hear Jay Wright. What do you think, Jay Wright? So here's the thing about Jay Wright. He's a great college coach. The guys that they have on the Knicks right now, I don't know that they would get along with Jay Wright. I can't see that working. Like Jalen Brunson, do you think that Jay Wright is capable of getting the best out of him after what we saw in these playoffs?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Max, Jay Wright to the Knicks.
In what world would that combination work, Max?
This is bad national sports podcasting.
This is the first name that everyone that he has as many connections to a team as you could possibly have, outside of which I would think it would be very funny if the Knicks just hired Rick Brunson to be their coach. So outside Rick Brunson, he has more connections, deeper connections than anyone else out there in the coaching pool. Jay Wright as the Knicks head coach would be fantastic, Max.
He doesn't want to coach.
He doesn't want to coach?
He doesn't want to coach.
Why not?
He's retired. He's retired from coaching. I don't know how many times the guy has to say he's retired from coaching.
Oh, man.
People never change their mind.
I want it so bad now.
He's not.
I just watched the Brett Favre documentary the other day. People change their mind.
Yeah. And people are scumbags, not Jay Wright.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who would be a good fit, too, if we're just going to toss names out there? Pitino.
Oh, doesn't have to move.
Rick Pitino.
Doesn't have to move.
Pitino.
Now, it might be a lesson from Thibs that maybe flying too close to the sun can be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, they accomplished a lot this season, right? It was a great season. We established that on PMT, that this season was not a disappointment for the Knicks.
Nope.
But then you get that far and then people start asking questions. Is this the guy that can even get us farther?
Yeah. Thibs is also he's kind of like a Harbaugh. He's a long lost Harbaugh brother, where he's just so obsessed with the sporty coaches, and really more Jim, not John, because John's been there for John's been there forever with the Ravens. But remember when like the 49ers and Jim Harbaugh split up? And it was just like, this guy's a really good coach. What's happening? It's like sometimes you just run out of gas here. This has happened to Thibs in Chicago, Minnesota, and now New York. Minnesota a little different, although people are making the joke that Cat has gotten him fired twice. Very mean joke.
Yeah, very mean.
But yeah, maybe it's run its course kind of firing, because Tom Thibodeau is a basketball mastermind. He pushes his guys very hard. He's so addicted to the game. He was engaged to be married and broke it up 6 weeks before the marriage when he was like 24 and said, "Nah, honey, it's basketball." And then he's never been engaged since.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is what Thibs does. He will play starters. He will play them long minutes. He'll exhaust them. And then he'll make people that are watching the game second guess every small move that he makes, because he very rarely does make these little tinkers to his lineup. So when he does do something, then everyone's like, he's making the wrong choice.
Yeah.
And then you have to blow it up.
Uses his challenge too early. We said it a million times, but if you're a coach of a professional team, you just can't mess up the small things, because idiots like us sitting on the couch, we can't tell you, oh, well, they should have run a different set in this situation, but we can tell you, hey, dumb challenge, dude. How do you not have a timeout here?
Yeah, we're really good at watching sports on TV, which is something that you never do. You don't watch your own games on TV as a coach. You watch the film afterwards, but you miss a lot of the stuff that we see. He's a great coach. I don't know if he's going to coach next season. He might just be an analyst. He might be on TV somewhere.
TM on TV would be great.
Might have him doing a podcast. I don't know, but this does feel like a move that the Knicks would make, knowing that they've got a guy that they want.
Yeah. Can I throw out something for Thibs? Maybe a trip to Turkey.
Maybe coach in Turkey.
Maybe a coach in Turkey, trip to Turkey, get the new hair, come back a different guy.
Is he going bald?
Just a little. Like, I think it's one of those situations that if they catch it now, it won't get bad.
Nobody will ever know that he was balding if
he waits 5 years. It might be a situation where he does actually get bald. So.
Yeah, if you get the camera angle on TV from the stands that shows the bald spot, the tiny bald spot on the crown of his head, that would be a bad look for him. So I don't want it to get to that place.
Memes, Knicks fan, how we feeling? Sad, happy, angry? Jay Wright, you pick. Those are the emotions that any Knicks. Those are pretty much the four. You could be either sad, happy, angry, or Jay Wright.
I'm in the sad category.
Okay, not in the Jay Wright. Will you get to the Jay Wright?
I'm moving towards the Jay Wright.
Okay, nice. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how it goes.
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like Jay Wright is the perfect fit, right?
Yeah,
I would say so.
Fits like a nice tailored Italian suit.
It's a shame he doesn't want to coach anymore.
He is built for the bright lights in New York City.
Wouldn't you, as a Villanova fan, want to see him reunite with the Villanova players?
Yes, seriously.
I'm just saying he doesn't want to coach anymore.
Oh,
But would you be happy if
you're
you
speaking for him?
Coach for the Knicks?
Oh, wow.
You'd be happy?
Huh?
You'd be happy if you coached the Knicks?
He doesn't want to coach.
That was not the question.
Oh, wow. So Jay Wright can't even.
Would you,
know what?
be happy if he was the coach for the Knicks?
No.
Okay.
You know what? I'm actually going to say Jay Wright probably shouldn't be the coach of the Knicks, because Max is the one who has to talk for him. Jay Wright can't even speak anymore.
Yeah, Max, where are you getting this information from?
From him. This happens every single time there's a coaching vacancy. Everyone screams Jay Wright.
Has it ever happened?
Every time I don't want to coach anymore.
Question. Has it ever happened for a job where three of his players are flourishing in the professional league, and also for a job that he has said on a certain little podcast named Pardon My Take that if he had to pick any job in the NBA, it would be the New York Knicks.
That.
No, that's not
Wait, we
erroneous.
didn't force him to say
yes,
it.
Erroneous. You did.
No, we didn't.
Wait, is he not a grown man?
Play the clip. Play the clip.
Put the clip in this
podcast. Pull up
Max.
the clip. He's smashing.
We didn't even do gun to his head.
No, we didn't at all. We didn't even have guns at that time in our career.
It was in New York.
We got guns.
I actually did have a gun.
Yeah, you
at
did.
that time.
You did have a gun.
I had an illegal gun.
I forgot
in New York
about
City.
your gun. Yeah. Okay. This is us.
What
Jay Wright.
NBA team would you like to coach?
kind of kidding the Knicks.
Okay.
Oh, Jay Wright to the Knicks.
Okay.
Huh.
There's nothing
Madison
like
Square
nothing
Garden.
like-
He just said that he pulled that one out himself.
All right. You want to make a bet on this podcast?
No, I
Yeah.
don't like to gamble.
That's what I thought.
I would make a bet. Soul patch.
No.
Oh, so you don't want to bet?
You already have a soul patch.
Put your money where your mouth is, Max.
Put the money where the mouth is.
Max is a bitch.
Either way, we're ready for the finals. I'm ready for the finals to start.
I am too. It does. I feel bad. I don't feel bad for Pacers fans. You're got a great team. You're in the finals. What a year for you so far. But it does seem like everyone's just taking a giant dump on the Pacers before the series gets started.
Yeah, it's hard. The Thunder are just so good. It's not like a dump on the Pacers. It's more the Thunder are so good.
Yeah.
And
Hank, you picked.
I would
the
love for it
Panthers
to
on
be
this
a
podcast.
Yeah.
Are you going to pick the Pacers?
Nah.
I know. That's kind of how I that's you're the way you said that is exactly how I feel, where it's like I've enjoyed watching the Pacers so much this run, and I want to pick them, but God damn it, the Thunder are so good.
Feels like the Celtics series last year, except the Mavericks were better than the Pacers. Like, people were a little bit higher on the Mavericks.
Were the
got
Thunder better than the Celtics last year? This Thunder, those Celtics.
No,
No,
but it'd be
guy
close.
for
It'd be a
guy.
good matchup. It'd be
Guy
a good
for guy.
matchup. It'd be a good
Who would you have?
matchup. It'd be a good matchup. But it just
I almost got him going back to guy for guy.
You know who this?
He thought about it
you know
for
who
a
this
second.
Great team reminds me of is the Celtics.
is that wrong though?
I'm going to allow you to say it. Like, you had a great team last year.
I don't know. The Pacers are good. The Pacers are really good.
That's what I'm saying. People, Luka Dan, like there was some
Luka
hype
Dan.
for the Mavs. They got blown out. I feel like there's less hype. There's less hype for the Pacers. It's just going to be, they might win one.
Big boys
They're going
gotta
to lose
stick
in
together.
5. Yeah.
Yeah. Is a gentleman's sweep if they win the third game of the series?
It's
the fourth
third
game?
game.
No, they win the fourth game of the series, so it goes 3-1.
I always thought, well, gentleman's sweep is 4-1 overall,
4-1 overall.
but I always thought it was whichever one. It's the home team kills them first 2 games, go back to the other arena, they give up the third game or fourth game, one or the other, and then it's over.
I think by the letter of the law, it's the fourth game.
It is? Okay.
But I feel very comfortable saying it's the third game, too.
Yeah.
Either one.
One of those games where it's like I consider the Thunder gentleman's sweep. They gentlemanly swept the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
That felt like a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, I think I might put money on a
gentleman's
5-game
sweep?
series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
Pacers
like
in 5.
I would
That would be good.
Pacers in 5. I might go both.
Yeah.
Gentleman sweep one
Just
way or
end
the other.
end it in 5.
Might parlay it, both of them. No, I think
Ooh,
that.
what about the Mount Rushmore parlay? Just both teams sweep.
Yeah.
Just getting to Mount Rushmore season as fast as possible.
See, that's why I want this series to. I want sports to keep going for as long as possible.
Yeah.
I know baseball's here.
Baseball's
We
very
can
much
talk
here.
baseball, but it does feel like, when you have the NBA and the NHL going, to me, it also kind of feels still like an extenuation of the NFL and football season because they overlapped.
Yeah.
So once we get done with this, then we've really turned the page.
Now
for
we're
NFL
in
season.
no man's land.
Yeah.
Waiting for it. Thunder in 6. That's my official.
I got Thunder in 5.
Thunder in 5. What do you got, Hank?
Thunder in 5.
Max, what do you have? Thunder, Pacers, or Jay Wright?
Not Jay Wright. I have
okay.
Pacers in 7.
Pacers in 7.
Why do you hate the notion of your favorite coach ever getting a job?
With
what I don't
some of your favorite players.
I
ever.
I don't understand it.
It's crazy.
He said he doesn't want to coach anymore.
No, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about why you hate the idea of your all-time favorite guy making money.
You don't want him to be happy. Right now he's happy.
I want him to be happy.
He's happy with his life.
I want to be as happy as
I want
possible.
to be. Yeah.
he wants-
Right now he's happy.
Okay, let's say we're in a world where Jay Wright absolutely he would love this Knicks job. It would make him so happy.
But it wouldn't.
But what if it did? What if it made him so happy?
It wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Like, so happy.
He would just come back to coach for Villanova.
At the same time,
Sure. If that were the
if he could be the Nova and the Knicks coach at the same time.
Wait, but you wouldn't want him to come back to Villanova because he's happy right now.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want. Yeah, you want him to coach.
No, but then he wouldn't have to move. He'd have to move to New York. That's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Oh, it's so far.
Philly, New York.
So far.
Yeah, no.
Who would do that?
Yeah. So far.
He posted a picture at a nice little music bar in my hometown on Sunday. He's happy.
So here's a guy that lives near Philly. He likes going out drinking with the boys. And you think in no world would somebody that lives in that town that likes to drink ever move to New York, Max?
He's happy. He's happy where he is.
He's happy.
Okay.
He's happy.
You guys don't want him to be happy.
By the way, for game 1 on Thursday night, we do have a parlay we're going to put up. Hank, you want to read it out here? It's going to be on DraftKings. High stakes drama, insane buzzer beaters, jaw-dropping dunks, and the excitement you live for. And guess what? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is giving you a chance to boost your winnings every single game during the playoffs. That's right, every game, all playoffs long. DraftKings is rolling out a special NBA profit boost. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE to claim your profit boost. That's right, code TAKE gets you a boost for every single NBA playoff game. Don't miss your shot at big wins. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. What is it?
PFT has Caruso, 15 plus.
Oh, we're naming names on the pick.
Points, rebounds, assists.
Okay.
Love that pick.
Okay.
I got Ain't No Stopping Obi Toppin, 8+ points. Love that one. Big Cat has Chet over 27.5 points, rebounds, assists. Great pick.
I think it's going to be a big Chet
And then
series.
Max Delente has Siakam over 19.5 points.
Oh.
That will be a plus 1,200 parlay.
Ooh,
Let's
spicy.
go, boys. Let's get spicy. And we're going to talk hockey with Jens. I had a couple other things before we do Hot Seat Cool Chill Throne. Should we be worried about CJ Stroud?
So he's not throwing at OTAs.
That's
because his arm's sore.
he plays quarterback.
He plays quarterback. That's his job to throw.
Yep.
I'm not worried about him yet,
Okay.
but I am worried that I might end up worried about him.
Okay. He's pre-worried.
I'm worried that I'm going to be worried about him.
Yeah.
I think they call that anxiety.
It's weird, right?
It's kind of strange.
Did this come out of kind of nowhere? Did
Okay.
he get a surgery? Do
So-
we have a surgery?
If I were CJ Stroud, what I would do is I would talk to the coaching staff and be like, hey, my arm is still kind of fucked up right now. Can I just not be at OTAs and you'll say it's excused? That way we won't have to answer any questions about whether or not I can throw.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
I don't know.
Maybe he's to just go to Egypt.
Just in general, like Aaron Rodgers did?
Yeah.
Just check out the pyramids?
Yeah, because you don't have to throw when you're in Egypt.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely anxious about it. If I was a Texans fan, I would be worried.
Yeah. I would be. You want your quarterback to be able to throw.
Ideally,
Yep.
yeah.
We also had Frank Ragnow retired for the Lions. Big loss for them. He was
29.
He was an awesome player. Feels like he was at a point where just the injuries and just getting up for the season, like reading his letter, he's just like, I wanted to play, but I just couldn't get there physically.
I feel like he probably kept the Lions informed about this. I don't think that they were
Yes.
super. They're obviously not excited that he's retiring, but I don't think that this was like a shot out of the blue.
Right. But it sucks for the Lions. That's
does.
a big piece of their offensive line.
He's a great player.
Yeah. Oh, Max pulled it up. There's no concerns with CJ, said Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans. It's just general soreness. We're taking every precaution with him, but he'll be good to go. No concerns on my end there.
General soreness. How old is he?
Like 24.
Buddy, you're 20. You don't know about general soreness.
No, I live with general soreness.
That'd be my rank in the military.
He went from lieutenant soreness to general
5-star.
soreness.
Yeah.
The double no concern from DeMeco Ryans makes me concerned.
Not worried. Yeah. Saying not worried repeatedly.
And he said there's no concerns with CJ, no concerns on my end there.
Let me ask you this, Big Cat. If you were to redraft that NFL draft right now, you taking Bryce first overall, knowing that he's dealing with general soreness?
Is Bryce Young throwing from in OTAs?
I think so.
Okay.
You could call it whatever he does.
Yeah.
He's doing that.
Okay. Start the debate. Oh, wait.
Redraft.
Max is looking at, we got a OTA footage showing break refill. Can I say something about the X, the Everything app? It's all happening on X?
Yeah, because free speech is back.
the search function is dog shit.
It's pretty bad.
Oh my God. I'll look for something and it will just be a completely different thing from years ago.
Yeah.
You can look for something you know exactly what it is.
Yes.
And type it in and it still won't appear.
I can
It's
look
crazy.
for something on there and it will be like a highlight, like a sports highlight. And then in the third option for what comes up, it's just a Nazi.
It's crazy. Or someone like a Russian soldier getting hit by a drone.
Yeah. Do you see those drones, by the way?
Yes. I saw
Damn.
those drones.
Damn.
I saw those drones.
Crazy shit. $3 billion in damage.
Okay, so CJ Stroud is throwing in OTAs.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, sorry.
And did you see that spiral?
That was sick.
That looks pretty good. People are asking the question.
Dude, OTAs are awesome.
Hank,
Yeah.
your boy, Stephon Diggs, at OTAs.
Yep. He was on my cool throne.
Okay, we can get to it.
Love. Well, no, Love. Just more of outside of the OTAs. But he looks good at OTAs for a guy that tore his ACL.
Yeah. Everyone looks good at OTAs.
And he's got,
it would be awesome
he's locked
if we had-
down.
if
Yeah.
we had someone who's just like,
Love is back.
their beat was just, this guy sucks at OTAs.
Yeah.
Like, I watch all the OTAs, and he's garbage.
He's got a nose for the goal line, this guy.
They played they did a drill with no defenders. He's dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, look
You
at
don't
this.
hear that from OTAs very often.
Look at these clips of Diggs. He's catching everything. Balls, gonorrhea.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Cardi's, are you jealous? Are you jealous?
It's the other girls. Those little biddies, they had the clap.
But he just their Instagram official now.
No,
That
I'm
was just
saying,
a
Oh, they
video
went
taken
Instagram
out-
official?
Yeah.
Look at that.
that's good.
That's
So
beautiful.
It worked.
Yeah.
The strategy worked.
It did work.
Please stop showing the video of the Tusi. It's giving me flashbacks.
Tusi.
I want to go back to Panama.
Tusi. Okay. Let's do hot seat chill throne, and then we'll get to our interviews, our big time previews with Yans and Russillo. Before we do that, game time. Hank, can you pull up a game?
Surely.
We never know what he's going to pull up for the NFL schedule. That's the beauty of it. Football is back. 2025 NFL schedule is out. And the only place you should be getting your tickets is Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. We're planning our fall schedule and circling the games we want to go to with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets. Game Time makes scoring NFL tickets faster and easier. They have exclusive discounts, and you can find seats for as low as $100. The Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic NFL tickets on time and for the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you'll pay. We're looking at tickets for
Sunday, November 23rd. This could be a Super Bowl preview. Jaguars at Cardinals.
Whoa.
You can get in for $56.
Let's go. So,
So
what are you
by
waiting
the time
for?
that comes, those tickets prices will probably be way up.
Yeah. Jaguars at Cardinals. Go buy them now. All the NFL tickets there on Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PMT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game Time. Hot Seat Chill Throne. Yeah, you heard that right. Hot Seat Chill Throne is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. This summer, cool off with Body Armor Chill. A bold new way to hydrate with no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. Enjoy a new refreshing cooling sensation in 3 icy flavors: frozen berry, frozen cherry, and frozen orange. Available for a limited time. Grab yours at 7-Eleven or a store near you. Let's remember, it's Hot Seat Chill Throne. Thank you to Body Armor, our wonderful sponsor. Hank, what is your Hot Seat Chill Throne thanks to Body Armor?
My hot seat is Magnus Carlsen.
Yes.
Yeah.
He lost to current world champion.
Oh, he's got it. He's giving us some chill.
Oh, nice. Love
Yes.
some electrolytes.
Woo.
He lost to current world champion, who basically he's like Prince. He doesn't have he just has one name.
Yep.
Jukish.
Jukish.
And then he had in chess. This is chess, obviously. For
He was a
maybe
Jukish
people
doctor.
who aware of who Magnus Carlsen is. He was chess prodigy. Lost to Jukish.
Wait. You kind of glossed that over with he's not just a chess
He's the
prodigy. He is the best chess player of all time.
Yeah, true.
And
Better than Bobby Fischer?
Yeah, by the ELO numbers.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about the girl from that documentary? Queen's Gambit.
What's her
Sounds
name?
Queen's Gambit?
Anya. What's her name?
Queen's Gambit.
Anya Taylor.
She was good. I mean,
Yeah.
especially in a time when they didn't let women into Russia. That was impressive.
Yeah. No, but Magnus Carlsen is, I think by the stats, the greatest chess player of all time, while also being the bad boy of chess.
Yeah.
He's
Bad boy of chess.
He got banned from jeans. Jeans wearing, right?
Yeah.
They lifted the ban because he was wearing jeans.
Because of the anal beads?
That's different.
That wasn't
guy,
a different guy. He was, I think he beat Magnus.
This is some good chess talk.
But he lost to Jukic and then a violent outburst, slammed the table, went super viral, so everyone's talking about it. So he's on the, he's the greatest chess player of all time according to PFT, but everyone's talking about how he lost.
Yeah, he had a blunder. So
there's a new video.
Oh, he lost again.
He lost again.
Oh, he blundered again.
The same guy? Are you sure that's new?
No, Wee Yi wins. Wee Yi wins. No, it's Wee Yi 1. Oh no, Magnus.
He blundered.
Blutman tweeted 24 minutes ago, "Oh no, Magnus," and
He
it's a
did
new
it
video.
again. He's washed.
Should we get Blutman?
When did that video come out?
Yeah, he knows chess. I want to know. So
is chess ball?
The other one was I guess he blundered and he knew he blundered and he just had a slow death of like 10. Did you guys see the extended cut of the clip where there was a full crowd there?
No, I didn't see it.
So funny. Can we pull that up? We're now, Zach, this is a big moment for you. Find us Magnus. I don't think the search is going to work. I don't think this is going to work. Oh, no, it's the other angle. It's on the other side.
He did lose again.
He lost again?
He doesn't have it.
Breaking moves.
Washed.
He lost again.
You know what's crazy about chess is like the grandmasters, the people that compete in these top of the line tournaments. You know how much weight they lose during a tournament?
How much?
They lose like 15 pounds over the course of a tournament just because their bodies burn calories because they're so stressed out during the matches.
I believe it.
They just sweat, the brain.
I believe it. I'm going to get this clip for you. Don't you worry, Zach. We kind of put you on the hot seat, not the chill throne here. Also, Max taking him a long time to get out there, right?
Yeah, I think he stopped by the bathroom.
He definitely stopped by and grabbed some food. If he comes back with Cheeto fingers,
he's eating on the John right now. All that Jay Wright talk. I got to shit this bad energy out of my system.
okay, let me find it. Wait, so Magnus lost again, and Blutman's coming in to tell us what happened because this is crazy, I guess. He's supposed to be the best, and he keeps fucking losing. I'm going to say right now, Magnus, not the best, because I have been watching chess religiously for almost 48 hours now, and all I've seen is Magnus losses.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Beth Harmon, that was her name. Goat.
That's what they do, though.
Beth Harmon.
Yeah. They whisper your successes and they shout your failures.
That's a fact.
Facts.
That's a fact.
So you're going to see clips of Magnus losing because it's a big deal when Magnus loses. And guess what? He's a bad loser. You show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser.
Really bad loser. All right, Max, I sent you the clip. So play that clip. Play like halfway through. So the best part about this is that I didn't realize it when the clip was going viral. There was a full crowd there, and they didn't know when to like clap. And then after all, Magnus kind of freaked out. Mm-hmm. They did finally clap, but it was funny because I assumed no one was in the room when they were doing this. I thought chess was played in private. Apparently, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's a spectator sport.
Go forward in the clip, Max. Maybe give us some audio too. Okay, so this is Magnus. He's gonna make this move. Oh no, bad move. And Magnus makes another move. I don't know.
Oh, got him.
Oh
my God.
It reminded me of that. Remember that Vikings fan video?
Yeah.
Oh,
let's see the crowd.
Troy.
This guy almost feels bad that he just beat
Magnus. Magnus kind of stole this guy's moment. Ready?
Oh, it just
No one
brushed
knows
past
what
it.
to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what do we do? What do we do?
Yeah, he feels bad that he beat
Oh.
him.
And there's just a bunch of people there. Magnus was so like demonstrative with his losing. The crowd didn't know to clap or not.
I'm just gonna say it. I think Magnus is gonna come back stronger.
I think he's washed. I literally am. he has never won a chess match as far as I know.
This is a man he's gonna be studying the film on this, and you're gonna wish that you never beat Magnus.
Do they just tie a bunch?
Yeah, there's a bunch of ties, bunch
Yeah.
of draws.
Yeah,
shake
because I was gonna
hands.
say, like, if you're that good at chess, you should never get beat.
So they also score how good of a chess player you are based on what the perfect move would be at any given time. Because let's be real, AI is the best chess player ever.
Allen
Iverson, really good crossover with his rooks. Yeah.
What do you got, Max?
Blutman left, but I do have him on the phone right now, and
All right.
he is giving an explanation.
All right, tell us, Blutman.
Explain what happened today. You're live to tape on Part of My Take.
Can you hear me? I'm in the elevator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool.
This is,
Technology's crazy.
we need it. Blutman live from the elevator.
Yeah.
That's the bottom.
He's just lying. That's a smoke detector.
Oh, we may have lost him.
Yeah, we lost him.
I mean, I told him that
He was going
the
up
fact that
so
he
many
went
stairs.
in the fact that he went in the elevator when I told him that he was about to come on is
That is a crazy
All right.
move.
Great chess recap.
Yeah.
well he gave me the recap. Do you want me to give you the recap?
Yeah,
of
give
what-
us. Yeah, this
What
is
do you
this is
remember?
Blutman from an elevator to Max.
Yes.
Max here.
and that's it.
Yeah, there's a chess
no.
recap.
He lost again today, and the guy that beat him also lost today.
Oh,
Okay.
So it washed.
Well,
but
maybe,
that wasn't really a recap.
That's a recap.
You literally just saw the bracket.
but if he didn't lose yesterday, would he have lost today?
See, these
Sounds
are
like
the,
these-
these are the
losses
things
I
that
also-
that
they
I
carry
wish he
over.
wasn't in the elevator.
I also
for.
want to know, how did he lose? Like the one that went viral on Sunday.
All right, he's calling me back.
It felt like he lost. Blutman.
Blutman.
Yeah, you got to do it.
How did he lose? How did he lose? Is that the question?
Yeah.
How
Was it embarrassing?
Was it embarrassing?
Magnus blundered today. He couldn't believe it. He made a weird, shaking of the head after he blundered today.
What did he blunder?
What did he blunder?
I gotta be honest, I have no clue.
Okay.
This is our chess expert. by the
Ask him
way.
if chess is ball.
Did you hear that question?
Yeah, it's chess ball. Chess is ball. It's a subdivision of ball. It's in the brains category of sports.
Okay.
You have chess, backgammon, checkers. That's all in the brains category. The smart stuff.
Can you ask him if Jukic
This
is
is
now
chess, not
is he the
checkers.
GOAT?
No, Jukic lost today.
So
Yeah.
who's the GOAT now?
So who's the GOAT of chess now?
The
Beth.
goat of chess is Magnus.
No, he's
Still is. The goats lose sometimes.
They're getting upset with you.
he's only
Why
lost.
could they possibly be getting upset? Magnus is the goat of chess. He's been world number one since 2011.
Well, he loses all the time.
He just keeps losing.
When was the last time he lost before this?
When was the last time he lost, Blutman? Wait, can you hear all this?
The butthole guy.
I can only
No,
hear
it's the
PFT
Queen's
sometimes.
Gambit.
Okay. When was the last time he
six.
lost?
Well, he lost today,
No, before today.
Sunday.
2 days ago.
Okay, before that. God damn it.
Yeah, I only am cognizant about the world of chess when I see these big tournaments going on. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of fun to see, because I like the chess beefs and the chess overreactions are some of the funniest things to me.
Yes. All right. So he's not really a chess expert. This was the worst chess
This was good-
recap
Yeah,
of
this-
all
yeah,
this
no,
time.
was
this
good
has gone
chess.
on way
This was
too
good
long.
chess, dog.
Yeah. All right. Thank
All
you,
right.
Blutman.
Remember a few months ago? when Magnus
Nope.
No,
changed
we
the
don't
chess
remember.
forever
We don't remember
and
any of it.
Players to wear jeans.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's talking about the jeans.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're done with chess talk. Thank you, Blutman.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
I mean, dude loses nonstop. I feel confident in my take saying he sucks. No one can show me anything else. All right.
Okay, you know who's a loser is this Jukic guy.
Why?
Here was
Well,
his,
no, he beat Magnus.
but here was his quote. You tell me if this is a quote from a loser or a winner.
Okay.
He called it his lucky day. It was just clearly lost, so I was just trying to make moves which were tricky for him, and luckily he got into time scramble. 99 times out of 100, I would lose. Just a lucky day.
It's kind of cocky.
First classical win against Magnus. I mean, not the way I wanted it to be, but okay, I'll take it. So it sounded like Magnus won. Magnus lost on time.
I don't know if he's
Father Time is undefeated.
I don't know if he's a loser. He sounds like someone who got lucky. It's kind of sick.
Like an honest person.
Yeah,
that
he's
got
just
lucky.
like, yeah, dude, I'm not that good. Magnus is. That really just shows you how bad Magnus is now. He's got guys winning on luck. You don't win on luck in chess. Not my chess. All right, your chill throne?
My chill throne is, well, I had Love, Cardi B, and Stefan.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram official, that's huge. Right before the season. You
Yep.
know, don't have to worry about outside activities. They'll probably just hang out, watch movies together at night, get
chill.
well rested. Super chill. And the snack wrap.
Snack wrap.
Yes, it was on mine as well.
Snack wrap is
You got it?
back.
Do you have it?
Snack wrap is back.
Snack wrap is back. Did Jerry have something to do with this?
Yeah. They put it in their video, and then I think like one of their directors of marketing said like his original tweet from a few years ago was in a lot of their slides and all these meetings.
Oh, hell yeah.
Snack wrap's elite.
Shout out to Jersey Jerry.
Yeah.
Popeyes is doing a
Mr.
snack
Jerry.
wrap too with the spicy chicken.
Snack wrap needs to be back.
Yeah, it's true. It's double back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone from McDonald's says, your tweet has been in many slides in many meetings. Thank you for pushing us. You won. See you July 10th for a snack wrap.
Hell yeah.
They got to give him a
Yes.
free snack
Nice.
wrap.
At
Right?
least, yeah.
He's got to. Yeah, his tweet was from 2022. I know I'm not the only one. Do the right thing for the people. We miss the snack wrap, all of us. He's right. We do. We all miss it. Okay. Good job, Hank.
Thanks.
PFT?
My hot seat is, unfortunately, Max Homa. Although Max put up a great performance, so he competed in the U.S. Open qualification process to get into the tournament. He carried his own bag in the longest day of golf. Is that what they call it, Hank?
Yeah, the longest day of golf.
Hank, golf's longest day,
Yep.
which is how many holes?
36.
36, which is how many rounds?
2.
Okay.
Nice.
Max was playing to qualify for the U.S. Open. Also, in his qualification group, the group that was playing in Columbus, it looked like a PGA leaderboard. It was like Ricky Fowler was there, Cam Young was there, a lot of great players. Max unfortunately lost in a playoff, but I did like seeing Max carry his own bag. But it was weird watching him wear shorts.
Yeah.
I think he should have worn pants.
Now he's got to find a new caddy, too.
That's right.
So he fired his most recent caddy.
Okay, so who's he on?
I believe
Who's
so.
out there? Who's available?
I don't know.
Bones?
Bones, Jersey Jerry.
Hank? No, Hank's spoken for.
Hank is spoken for. I'm pretty sure, did he not split? Yeah, he split with his caddy, Bill Hark. Okay,
But
well, listen, just a minor setback for a major comeback.
We're gonna rebuild.
Yep.
He did show a lot of grit out there, carrying his own bag. I like the format of the U.S. Open where you can compete and anybody off the street. Can
Yeah,
get
it's
into
awesome.
It. It's very cool.
awesome.
And they did like
There's a high school kid that got in.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
He was like 18 under in 2 rounds.
Holy shit.
Now, are you keeping your own score?
Yeah, always.
I
There was
would-
a kid who finished his first round. He did well. He's like a truck driver. He went to go. Him and his dad went down and got a bite to eat. Forgot to turn his scorecard in. By the time he realized it, went to turn his scorecard in, the group behind him had turned theirs in, so he got disqualified. Didn't get to play the second round.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah, the scorekeeping is very, very important.
Is there anything,
Also,
don't you just hate
though-
that type of bullshit with golf?
I kind of like it.
I also, forgetting to turn your scorecard's a wild move.
He's a truck. Yeah.
But that's a wild move. Like, you have to turn.
Yeah,
Is that
someone
the
that was
first time-
Monday. I think is the Twitter account's Monday Q Info. The guy like just tracks all this stuff, but there was some jokes and replies being like, you would think as a truck driver they would understand how to get packages to places on time. But
That's
That's
some
a great
good
joke.
humor. That's
He
some
said-
good
and he
X
said-
humor.
It's
Yeah,
a little edgy, but
Wow.
yeah.
he was just he got swept up in the moment, and he said he was eating like 200 feet away from the scorer's place. He just slipped his mind.
Max Homa will have Lance Bennett.
All right, what do we know about this Lance Bennett guy?
He's a fucking stud.
I love him.
Yeah. If you're scoring home, yeah, he's a stud. We're ready to go.
Oh, he
Lance
was
Bennett.
on Colin Morikawa's bag.
Nope.
No.
No?
Bennett was working for Michael Thorbjornsen, but Thor hired JJ Jakovic as his full-time
And
swing caddy. If you're scoring at home, JJ had been on Colin Morikawa's bag until Joe Grenier left Max for him.
What's a swing caddy?
You're Hank.
Yeah.
It's Hank for you.
Yeah, no, Hank's CEO of golf operations.
Oh, hell yes.
I'm
Okay,
putting
on a
together
PowerPoint.
staff.
Yeah,
We're doing a series of mergers right now.
love it. All right, your children?
Max is director of nutrition.
Nice. Can I get a spot?
Yeah, do you want to be director of intimidation?
Sure.
for PFT Golf Enterprises.
Oh, actually, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, I figured
Shit talking.
Yeah, shit talking.
Yeah,
Like
I'm in.
compiling dossiers on everybody
Yeah.
that I'm competing against.
I'm in.
Getting in their heads.
100%.
Okay. Memes, you're director of memes.
Zach, you're director of Tusi.
If you can get me Tusi, I can win this whole fucking thing.
Zach?
And then I'm buying $1 million worth of Tusi.
We'll see what we can do for you on that.
All right.
Okay.
I got you.
All right.
All right. Love that.
You're on my Tusi team.
He just delivered you Tusi.
Yeah, and you've done a great job with the ice cream. So
We'll find out.
So do you want a Tusi topping or?
no,
That's a good question.
I think Tusi is the top. Oh, for the ice cream.
Yeah, for the ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah. Surprise
that a
us
lot.
with that.
Yeah. And then my chill throne is being romantic about baseball. So I want to confess something to you guys. I went to the Cubs game on Saturday, and I felt very romantic about baseball.
Love that.
But then I feel guilty about being romantic about the Cubs.
Well, we're playing right now.
I know
Playing
that,
tonight.
but what I realized, and this was all subconscious. I went home that day. I watched the Nats play, watched the entire game. Then on Sunday, I watched the entire Nats game. And also Sunday morning, I bought a shitload of Nats merchandise.
Hell yes.
I
any
think- but-
weird stuff?
I don't buy strange
any plaid.
patterns. Yeah.
That is a sick hat.
But I realized, thank you. I realized after the fact, after I did all that stuff, I think I had a guilty conscience
Of falling in love. But you fell in love with baseball.
of like really enjoying myself at Wrigley Field.
No, but what you did
No.
was basically you went to a strip club and then you went home and like fucked the shit out of your significant other.
Right. So I went home
Yeah.
and then I may have subconsciously, and I actually do think I subconsciously purchased all these things because I felt bad and guilty.
That hat is sick.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, but I think I can love watching the Cubs play at Wrigley Field.
Yeah. So
Right.
it's going to a
100%.
game is
Yeah.
the best.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I
Great
don't-
song at the end.
Yeah. Fantastic song. Are you talking about the 7th inning stretch?
No, he's talking about
Go
Cubs.
Cubs, go.
Go Pugs, go.
Go
Go
Pugs,
Pugs,
go.
go, yeah.
Go Pugs,
Hey,
go.
Chicago, what do you? Oh, the Pope is from the USA. A lot of Pope merchandise at Wrigley
Oh,
Field.
I bought one for White Sox Dave.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it said not even Pope Leo could save the Sox.
I like that.
He begrudgingly accepted, and I was like, dude, I'm not actually making you wear this.
I also think that just Wrigley Field has the best the best merchandise for like advertising the game and the field. Like people wearing the shirts that just have the clock that says 120 on
Yep.
it. Like there's nothing like going to a 120
marquee,
game.
yeah.
Now I want to make, if you're a national and you're listening to this, you're my main bitch, right? I'm never going to leave you. I'm very excited about what the future has for us. We got a great young team. But I did feel I felt like when the Cubs scored a run, I got excited. I was like, yes, this is good.
I was at
Root for the home team.
I was at
It's true.
Saturday and Sunday. I was at Wrigley. So Saturday was the game you went to, right?
Yep.
It was also maybe the best weather possible.
That might have had
like
a lot
it
to do with
was
it. Yep.
not a cloud in the sky, 63 degrees like that perfect mix of in the sun you're warm, in the shade you're a little cool. Oh.
Yeah.
I took Memes on Saturday to his first Cubs game.
It's adorable.
Yeah, he didn't wear a hat.
I do think this. I
It
think
was jarring.
the weather had a ton to do with it. Probably.
Yes.
I got free hot dogs. Who shout out the hot dog concession guy?
Well, that's sick.
Yeah. So he actually said, "Can I get a shout out on part of my take for giving you these free hot dogs?"
Hell
and then,
yes.
And I was like, "I don't know." And he goes, "Yeah, you're right. That's probably asking too much."
No.
But then I did it.
There you go. No, it's like you ever go on vacation somewhere and if the weather is perfect, you just like, I could live here.
Oh yeah. If the,
Any nice day, you're just like, yeah, this is the best place ever.
if the weather's in the 70s or
Grand
80s,
Rapids, Michigan.
I hop
Loved
on.
it.
I hop on Zillow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I'll just buy a house here in all this great weather.
Yeah, that will do it for you. Okay, my hot seat is Saquon Barkley because he needed a harness to get on the Madden cover.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Madden curse.
Yeah, well, that too, but he needed a harness to do the jump over a player thing.
So he actually can't do that move in real life.
Correct.
Yeah.
He did do that move in real
He
life.
needed a harness.
People forget he almost got hurt because of that move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
Only
forget
gained an
Coach
extra
Sirianni
yard.
didn't want him to do that.
Actually, probably kids at home got really hurt trying to recreate that.
Jay Wright doesn't even like coaching anymore.
My chill throne, I got a couple. Versus Hank, the kangaroo got on the plane.
Yep.
Did you see that video?
I did not see
The
that.
kangaroo has made. He finally was able to board, and he's on the plane.
Okay, so it was a real kangaroo.
It was a real kangaroo.
And
He
finally
was
did it.
tucked in perfectly, sitting, minding his own business in the middle seat with a seatbelt on. That kangaroo, way to go, Hank.
I was happy. I was happy for the kangaroo.
You
And
did
the
it.
woman who's, it was the emotional support kangaroo.
Yeah.
She was now okay.
Yeah.
Now, did they check its
Look
pocket?
at that. PFT. See
Yeah,
that?
I'm
it wasn't
looking at it
middle
right
seat.
now.
It was aisle seat.
Did
My mistake.
Check its pouch when it went through TSA?
I better have. Look at kangaroos eating. Are those peanuts? That's illegal on a plane. Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, that's why I think this video
no.
might be fake, is because
no.
there's so many peanut allergies, they won't let you do that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just eating my peanuts right here. It's fantastic.
Other cool Tyrone. We talked about Cal Raleigh on Monday and how awesome he is, and he should be considered for the MVP. A listener hit us up, PFT, and said, this is from Sackman8. He said, longtime listener, first time caller. Thank you for showing the Ners. I guess that's what they call the Mariners.
The Ners?
You just say Mariners.
Yeah.
You can just say Mariners
Like
on
the
that one.
Sirs for the Pacers?
Yeah, the Nerds, some love on today's show. Wanted to let you know some of us Cal Raleigh's dump fans have been saying, Big Dumpy go poo-poo every time he goes yard. I fucking love that.
I'm in.
Just texting your boys, Big Dumpy just went poo-poo.
Big Dumpy go poo-poo.
And my other cool throne is Max, our Max, because he made the catch of the summer with the hot dog. For people who missed it, we got a hot dog stuck in the ceiling at Barstool HQ, Chicago. And it took us an hour and a half to get it out, and Max caught it and ate it.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe you just opened up his buns and the meat slid right in.
yeah.
I took a bite.
The video of Max, can we put it in the YouTube of Max running around? Just like, if you take all context out of what happened, Max doing a lap holding a hot dog, he's the most special boy we got. That's all I'll say. He's a special, special boy.
Butt crack came out.
Yeah.
No.
Do this video. If you just started the video when Max caught it, the butt crack did come out. Just when Max catches it, it's a special, special video of him. Just look at him. Everyone cheers. He's like, I got a hot dog. I got a hot dog.
Clean
Good
catch,
job, Max. You got a hot dog. He's just showing everyone, like, look, see? Hot dog.
It looks like he's running a baton race at the Food Olympics.
Yeah. It's like when they let like the old guy at the spring football game score a touchdown.
Hair looks great though, Max.
Yeah, hair looks great.
Shout out, Joel. It was a special day in the office yesterday.
It was.
It was a special day at the office. I felt like a very special boy.
And someone sent you a drink at dinner because of it?
I don't know if that was true, but I did get sent a drink.
Oh, it had to have been.
It had
the
to
hot
have been
dog
that.
catch.
It had to have been that.
Had to have
Yep.
been. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's get some finals previews. We got Russillo and then Yans, and then we'll finish up with some listener-submitted FAQs.
Before we get to Ryen Russillo, who's brought to you by our great friends over at Truly and Truly Unruly Lemonade. It combines the high alc fun of Truly Unruly with everyone's favorite lemonade. It's lemonade let loose. It's 8% ABV. I'll say again, 8% ABV, 100% delicious. They've got 4 great flavors. The Bumpin' Blue Raz is my personal favorite. They've got the OG original lemonade, punched up pineapple, wild pink. It is the perfect drink for an unruly boy summer. It's the official hard seltzer of Part of My Take. We love Truly Unruly Lemonade. So refreshing, great to drink out in the sun, great to drink for a night out. Level up your lemonade with Truly Unruly, 8% ABV, 100% delicious. Russillo is also brought to you by our great friends over at Chevy. Chevy has been building trucks for over a century that don't flinch and they never quit. Whether you're hauling lumber on the job or trying to get the smoker, the cooler, the cornhole boards, and the whole crew to the tailgate on time, Chevy gets you there. When they say it's the most dependable truck, they're not just speculating. Chevy trucks have earned more dependability awards for trucks than any other brand, according to J.D. Power 2025. Sounds like they've got the stats to prove it. I'm driving a Chevy this summer. Actually, Max told me yesterday. Max said, PFT, I think this might be the summer of the El Camino.
I did. I got a good feeling about the El Camino this summer.
I
got a really good feeling.
I got a great feeling. She's humming. She's purring. I own 2 Chevys because I love Chevy. You can draft yours at Chevy.com. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard. For more on Chevy trucks, visit Chevy.com and visit jdpower.com/awards for more award details. And now, here's Ryen Russillo.
Okay, we now welcome on one of our best friends in the whole world, very special guest. Very, very, very special guest. It is Ryen Russillo, the Ryen Russillo podcast. He is the number one ball knower in the world. And we have you on to talk about the NBA Finals, but we got gifted with a news breaking an hour ago. Tom Thibodeau out with the New York Knicks. So let's start there. I want to say not shocking because this is kind of how it goes with Thibs, where you can kind of feel the sea changing on him and he gets them to a level and then it's like, all right, he can't get us to that next level. But I'll say a little shocking because Jalen Brunson just did a press conference where he was like, I love him. Were you shocked at all?
No, I wasn't. You were hearing about this a little bit. I mean, we can talk about whether or not we're shocked based on, this Knicks season. It's tough because you're playing the Pacers, you beat Boston, you think you have a chance against the Pacers. I still thought they had a chance against them, even though I picked the Pacers. And if you take a step back and not get emotional about it the next morning, and you look at this Knicks season and you're like, all right, this team hadn't been in the Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. I mean, there's a Knicks conversation about like this team winning a title before I was even born, where you're like, man, we talk about this team a lot. Although you probably say the same thing about the Red Sox prior to 2004, where you're like, there's a lot of Knicks conversation. There's just a handful of teams that have had a better run for a really long time. Most wins, I think, since 2013. They take out Boston. And, look, Tatum went down in game 4, but, they were up, 9 and 11 points with 3 minutes to go. So they're probably going to win that game anyway. And that's a huge, huge statement. And I think on the whole, you have to feel really good about who the Knicks were this year in comparison to who they've been. But there was definitely a lot of lingering stuff. And even the last 2 days, you were just hearing like he's out. Bill had mentioned it on the pod where he thought he'd be out. I was actually at a lunch yesterday where we were like, yeah, he's probably done. And the thing that sucks is I'll tell you, in all the years I've spent getting the chance to talk to people about basketball, whether it's front office people, the last 25 years working with all these different coaches, when I was at ESPN and we'd be in the same room together and I'd be doing like maybe late night TV or something, Thibs is without question the most impressive single person I've ever talked to about basketball. Like he made me after 5 minutes go like, holy shit, do I not know anything? Like I've been watching this game a long time and he is so incredibly impressive. I think there's absolute buy-in. There's kind of like a toughness resetting that he brings when he comes into the franchise. But you're right, Big Cat. It seems to run its course. And, the minute stuff, I don't really think it's as egregious this year. I thought that Bulls run where it looked like Joakim couldn't even make it up the floor. And you're like, dude, you're wearing these guys down. It just seems to be, look, I think the NBA, that's the job. I don't even know that it's specific to Thibs. I think it's the job where it is very hard to get everyone to keep listening to you after you've had this job 4 or 5 years. So, yeah. I mean, there's some other basketball stuff we get into, why they got away from the Cat Brunson combo stuff. There was a defensive adjustment to Cat the team started doing, playing with smaller guys. You could get on his ass for like, why did you start going to bench guys that you had buried for such a long stretch of the year? But, that part always frustrates me. The coach does something different and then you lose and then it means the coach is a moron. And it's like, well, would you rather lose without any adjustments or attempt at anything and putting Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup? So I feel bad for him because I know how smart he is and I think he's a terrific coach, but it's very hard in this job to have it longer than 5 years.
It is the league. The longest outside of Eric Spoelstra and Steve Kerr, who is the longest tenured coach now that Thibs has been fired.
Finch?
It's actually Billy Donovan.
All right.
Which speaks to how crazy, you know what I mean? Like Billy Donovan feels relatively new still with the Bulls, and it's like, this is just how it goes. Guys go in and out very quickly.
Oh, no, it's nuts. Like whenever you look at the Wikipedia page for this, you'll have half the coaches in the league. Like I'm doing it right now. Like Will Hardy is already on the longer side of the 10-year run with the Jazz. Right. Okay. Missoula's like in the middle of the pack. So if I were going to run through it really quickly here, I think more than half the coaches are hired from 2023 on. So you're totally right. I mean, it's a nearly impossible job. And I don't know if you can talk about, like, I was talking with somebody about it and they were talking about like the money, right? It was a really funny line because he said to me, he's like, you can not even be good and make $10 million a year now in this league. You don't even have to be that good, and you might get $10 million a year on a multi-year contract. But we've been having that conversation for decades. It's like all the players make all this money, and now they're not going to listen to the coaches. So that's not necessarily anything new. it's a bit like the roommate theory. It's really hard to have a roommate where if you think of all the people you've lived with in your life, like how many guys did you get to know that you loved versus how many guys did you get to know that you hated?
Right, after living for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what do the Suns pick up the phone now? Are they like, hey, I know that we had it down to 2. That would be a very funny fit. Thibs out in Phoenix.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, they're running through them, Monty and that whole thing changed post Chris Paul and the changes they wanted to make. And then you have Vogel, who is a really good coach. But, the Lakers thing, they move on from him so quickly that you're kind of like, all right, well, the guy just won a title there, and now he's the problem. And look, it's pretty clear. Look, I give him all the credit for the bubble one.
No, not us.
That's fine.
Fine. Ryan, we did a bad job introducing you. Congratulations. Yeah. Chris Paul played an entire season.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll be sure to let Chris know.
Vindication.
That he was acknowledged for this. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what's next.
I got a question. I got one more question about the Knicks.
But I want to talk about the Suns thing though, because if I were Thibs, I'd be like, I'm good right now. Like you guys just blasted out Vogel immediately. You brought in Bud, paid him, blasted him out. It seems with the finalists for Phoenix, it's like maybe we don't have to spend a ton of money this time around because they're spending all this money on these other guys. I think you have to have a certain mindset to respond to Thibs, and I don't know. I'm sure Booker would be fine with it. I can't even imagine Beal in Thibs rotation. And if they're still stuck with Beal, because I do think Durant gets traded.
Yeah. All right. My last Knicks question, because I want to talk finals. I know you don't like Cat. I don't. You do not.
I don't like watching
you do not.
it. I respect it. He's better than I give him credit for. I don't like watching it.
Do you? So my take is he is not a perfect player, and so much zest. But all your complaints about him or criticism are fair, and they come from a fair place. I feel like though he is maybe the greatest scapegoat that a team could ever have because it's all about Cat and Thibs and not a real conversation about Jalen Brunson maybe being, defensive liability at points. Mikal Bridges not playing up to the level he should have played to. Josh Hart not being able to hit a 3. And Cat is like this lightning rod, and it happened with the Timberwolves too, where if you have Cat on your team, if you're another guy, you're safe. Because if you lose, it's going to be like Karl Anthony Towns is the problem.
Yeah, it's like being on the cabinet where you just go like, well, ultimately everybody's going to forget what I'm in charge of.
Right.
Yeah, look, I mean, Brunson is like almost bulletproof.
Yep.
And, it's funny because Becky Hammond made the comment, I believe it was Becky who had said, you wonder about Brunson as a smaller guard on a title contending team, which has been accepted for years in this league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why, Isaiah Thomas has become criminally underrated for what he was as like the real go-to offensive player. And granted, Dumars was terrific and Vinny Johnson coming off the bench, and that'll be the end of that Pistons breakdown. But there's just GMs that will tell you, like, I don't want to have to go through multiple rounds with a small guard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. And here's Brunson, who, whether it was 1 year, I know I flipped it with he and Tatum, where I had one in the top 5 in the MVP voting. I think I had Brunson 5th and then put Tatum first team All NBA. Brunson's, if he's healthy, he's not outside of the top 10 players in this league. They nailed it. He was good in Dallas. I didn't think he was going to be this. And then on top of everything else, he's just so comfortable in all these huge moments. However, the Boston series, it wasn't really about Brunson in the beginning. They did a really good job containing him. Bridges went off, and then, Boston just becomes this comically stagnant team. So you're right. Like, Brunson has brought such energy to this franchise, and those moments at MSG where he's just dialing it up and no one can do anything with him. It ignores, and maybe it's kind of baked into the Cat part of it, is like, if you have one bad defender,
right,
you can kind of hide it.
Right.
But when it's the Pacers deciding, like, do we want to attack Cat this time or do we want to attack Brunson? And to Halliburton's credit too, which I had to remind myself a little bit of, like, his standing in the league, where you go, how we all kind of fall in love with, like, who those guys are, the top 10 players, top 15. I voted them all NBA. It was close for third team for him. But when you have somebody who's approaching the game more like a quarterback, who's dissecting things and playing like this natural point guard position with the instincts that are so rare in today's game. Like when you have a guy like that who knows, like, okay, there was a play that he had in the closeout game when he went on that little bit of a tear. So Cat was late in drop coverage and doesn't get to Halliburton. Halliburton hits a floater inside the paint. And it was another one of those discussions where one of Cat's teammates is like, what are you doing? Like, you have to show more on that. They run something very similar. Halliburton knows because he just got yelled at that Cat's going to come up to him. And Halliburton's like, yep. And delays just enough. Siakam has the cut off of it. He's wide open. He actually missed the layup. So I know I'm kind of going off here a little bit, but when you have two of these liabilities defensively and Cat is the sassy one,
and 7 feet.
Yeah. And look, I don't know what happened with them. I mean, there was only 5 assists total from Brunson to Cat in that entire series. When you look at the offensive ratings for the Knicks over the course of the year, like month by month, it was the best offense in the NBA to like the bottom third the last couple months. So they lost something. And whether that's on Thibs not being creative enough, I would say there's probably more Bridges possessions in there with an offense that's a little bit more creative, where we're like, hey, can't we just use the Cat Brunson thing as some kind of decoy instead of Bridges is watching so much of this? But you're absolutely right. There's no dispute that with a guy like Brunson bringing this energy and just excitement, and he's so much fun. Like, every kid has a Brunson jersey that's a fan of this team, that nobody's ever in a hurry to criticize that guy when you have somebody else you feel like is a bigger liability on the whole than Brunson is.
Right. If you're going to have a guy who's bad at defense, you would rather have a guy who's bad at defense and also very tall than a guy that's short and also bad at defense.
Well, also when that other guy can like drop 40 in a playoff game, and it's so much fun watching it happen. Look, I don't even think SGA is like a great defensive player. He's even been subbed out at times for defensive purposes, but it's never a thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. One, because he's taller. Two, there's so many great defensive players. Like sometimes he gets targeted because it's like, I'd rather do this than switch into Jalen Williams, Dort, or Caruso.
Yeah.
Or then, Chet holds up pretty well, which I think they'll probably close with Chet more in this series than the double big lineup that they've done off and on throughout this year. So I don't want to sit here and be like, hey, you're right. We should all be shitting on Brunson more.
No,
like,
I don't
like
think
that part
so.
of the NBA.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, who we don't shit on enough is this guy. Let's do it.
It's not.
And I know that's not what you're saying, but he's bulletproof. He kind of should be.
It's more just Cat. Everyone hits the trade Cat button. And it's like, yeah, he's not perfect, but there's other things too. Maybe it is just trade Cat. It's also very funny whenever basketball comes down to just like, oh, yeah, being taller does help.
It does.
It's like, hey, we shouldn't overthink this. Tall players are better than shorter players.
I'll be honest. If I was 7'4", I truly believe I would be in the NBA. I would have played some minutes in the NBA if I was 7'4".
I know you didn't listen to the podcast already today because it just posted, but we had a life advice specifically about this where a guy was working construction and he was 6'6", and there was another guy on the site that was like, man, if I had your height, I'd be in the NBA. And the emailer was like, look, I get it. It's happened to me my whole life, but it's also insinuating that I'm a waste of a human being because I wasted all this God-given talent. And then the punchline was, you want to guess what the other guy's height was?
Oh, was it like 6'3"?
Yeah, it was 6'4".
You just need those extra 2 inches.
No, but 7'4". I mean, let's be real. If you were 7'4", you'd be in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Not long. I think I would have blown through money and been a bit of a fuck up in my 20s.
But you would have you would have been you would have gotten drafted. All right, let's talk about the finals.
Yeah, but I'd be on podcasts talking about how coaches fucked me over and I got like blackballed from the league and stuff.
Yeah, you'd have the clips of you in a gym playing against a bunch of like dads.
My comeback videos.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't have anywhere to post them, but they'd be incredible.
You would be ready to shit on players if you had gotten in the league for like a cup of coffee. Then you just gain a lot of weight after you get out, and you're like, this guy stinks. This guy's a bum. He'll never win anything.
Yeah, I do wonder, like, if you took just a general fitness test of people like north of 45, how many people that are in shape because their athletic career was such a massive disappointment versus guys that had like incredible success. And then after 45, you're like, I don't want to do any of that shit because it was my life.
You're just describing CrossFit. You really are. Like if you ever go to a serious CrossFit gym, and if you go to a serious CrossFit gym and you throw one of them a football, it's not getting caught, but they could fucking burpee forever.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like if somebody had just played catch with Rudy Gobert when he was a kid,
Did you see Rudy's warm-up dribble video where he just couldn't do it?
In the game?
No, it was like before the game. It was like Rudy's like working on his handles, and he kept on. It's like, why are they taping this? Don't do this to the guy.
I know. It kind of reminds me. Is that the Tristan Thompson video where he was like doing like little jump pull-ups?
Oh, because I seen another one.
Well, you like watching sex tapes.
Well, I mean, if they
shit, Ryan.
if they're in my purview, I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna avert my eyes.
Yeah, but would you want to watch a sex tape of somebody you knew?
If you told me, if you came up to me right now and you're like, if you walked into this studio and PFT and I are sitting here right now and be like, someone's like, hey, I got a sex tape of Hank. We'd watch.
I want to see a stroke. Yeah.
We'd watch. Come on. You'd watch.
I wouldn't.
Yes,
I wouldn't
you
want
would.
to watch that.
Yes, you would.
I don't want to watch Hank bang ever.
I wouldn't watch it multiple times. I'd watch it once out of curiosity.
I'd want to know
what you guys would have to. I mean, you're in the content game.
You got to know what your man's style is. You got to know what his go-tos are.
Yeah, we're gonna break down some film.
Yeah.
What if he started crying and was the little spoon?
That would be awesome.
That'd be very funny. Yeah, then I'd watch it many times.
Yeah, that'd be content.
Before we get to the finals, you mentioned something in passing. KD, you think he's going to get traded? Why do you think that? And who do you think he's going to get traded to?
What would make you think he'd play on a different team?
I don't know. Just something.
The hot takes with Russillo. KD might not be on the Suns next year.
I thought last year there was a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff around the draft. There was like rumors about Houston. And then I think Stephen A even had said like he is going to be traded. And then I talked about it like 2 days later and said, I know for a fact that he's not going to be traded. And at least I had this year. I don't know. I feel like the seeds have been planted.
Okay.
What is that? Is that when
there's a wind horse? Windy fingers.
Yeah, windy fingers.
I don't think that deserves to be a windy fingers.
No, dude. Kevin Durant on the move?
Why would you say that?
Huh?
Well, you're also plugged in, Ryan. You're the most plugged in guy we got.
Yeah, but see, I don't, as I've gotten older, I don't need to do any of that stuff. And if I get it wrong, it's like the damage is so much worse than no one's ever like, hey, good call.
Yeah.
That's why I like Threads so much, Big Cat.
Yeah.
Threads is like being out in last call looking for food in Philadelphia versus like Sarasota. That's what Threads is.
It is Threads. All right, let's talk the finals. I've loved watching the Pacers these playoffs. They're so much fun. They play with so much pace. They have Haliburton. I know there's games where it's like, hey, how is this guy, a top 10 player? But when he's on, and he makes everything so much better. I just can't get over the fact that the Thunder's defense is so fucking suffocating, and they have so many guys that they can throw at you. And just like, even, I know regular season doesn't matter. Like Lou Dort is gonna make Haliburton work his ass off, and it's like then they have other guys, and then Caruso comes off the bench. What's the path for the Pacers? Like, how do you, when you look at this, is there a case you can make that like here's how the Pacers can win this series outside of Caitlin Clark going to every game, which they are 7-0 in these playoffs with Caitlin Clark in attendance?
That's good. It was good to see Mike Epps in the mix because all this Knicks stuff, they were like, is there anybody available? Like, can we do anything? And I, just to share with you guys, because I know how much you like the jam bands, Trey's been at these Knicks games.
So is Derek Trucks, right?
Derek Trucks.
I saw him on the
Haynes,
baseline.
Right. Yeah. And you're just thinking to yourself, like, can't we get one shot of any of the guys on the creative side of music? Although I shouldn't say that about Busta Rhymes because I still think his third album is one of my favorite. Still a go-to. Listen to it today, shooting around a little bit.
Flip mode's the greatest.
Yeah, right. So I didn't want to make that sound like one form of music is more creative than the other, but there's seriously something against the improvisational guys.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand why Trey doesn't deserve some sort of graphic. We don't have to worry about that anymore. The Knicks are eliminated. So, look, I think when you're watching the Pacers, you're going, okay, cool. They take care of the basketball, and they love to get out and run. Here's the problem. I went back and watched the March game, the late March game where the Thunder put it on the Pacers. There was no Chet. There was no Jalen Williams 2. Hartenstein left the game at halftime. with a hip thing, so only played like 14 minutes. So they decided to come out small and play with Kenrich. And that's where they were up like 10 at the half. And they put like real separation. They got up to 22 in the third quarter. They didn't get a great SGA game because Jalen Williams was on the attack, man. And when he was like the primary ball handler, like he was on the attack. So then you're thinking, okay, so going into this, we expect the Pacers to take care of the ball. We expect them to want to go small at times. Sometimes they have this bench, and they're going to want to, I would say, get out and run, right? The Thunder were the better running team in the regular season matchup. In that game, there were two things that really stood out. One was the Jalen Williams attacking Nesmith and having zero issues with it whatsoever. Number two was they got out and pushed. Okay, so like if the Thunder can basically do anything. Mm-hmm. The other thing that's crazy, like I know I'm throwing a bunch of stuff at you here. The Thunder are 13th out of 16 playoff teams in three-point shooting. And they're a minus 750 for the NBA Finals. The only series they've shot it well from three is the Minnesota series. They can get to this point, be 12-4 through 16 playoff games, and still not shoot it nearly as well as they've shot it in the regular season. That's fucking horrifying. Mm-hmm. They've played at a faster pace than the Pacers. They take care of the basketball better than the Pacers do. And even as much as we all love that bench because we know who all the guys are for the Pacers, through 16 games, TJ, Obi, Thomas Bryant, and Mathurin are all net negatives. Yeah. They're all net negatives. And to your point about like the Thunder can go, hey, we'll run a double big at you. I don't think they're going to want to because Hartenstein's actually of like the main 9 rotational guys, the biggest net negative. And I think it's played out that way. And they started tailing his minutes off in the Minnesota series. Also because Chet is somebody like you just feel so much better about now a month into this because he's had some massive moments, including I would say, one of the closed Denver games and also game 5 against Minnesota. He was unbelievable. And you don't even have to really run any plays for this guy. So, even though I'm picking the Thunder and it's going to be really hard for anybody to talk themselves into the Pacers, the things that the Pacers pride themselves on, running, keeping the basketball, not turning it over is the better way to say it, and their bench depth, the Thunder can match you with a better bench. Their bench has actually played better. They've taken care of the basketball better. And they're more than ready to run with you if you want to run with them. And that's what's so impressive about this team is that they can just take on almost any form needed in a basketball game, and it's probably going to be their advantage.
Have you heard anybody that's taking the Pacers that's not just doing it to be I'm the guy who's taking the Pacers guy?
I haven't. I mean, have you guys had a moment where it was like the Giants, Pats undefeated season where you really thought the other team – because, look, it's sports. This is the whole reason we care about this stuff is that we have to be surprised sometimes. So I always try to like figure out like is there a time to just go ahead and pick against everybody else because you feel like everyone's overrating the other side a little bit too much. I meant this is actually a question. Like, do you have one in your past that you remember? You were like, I'm on the other side of this.
Yep. It was just a few short months ago, NFL playoffs, Commanders against the Lions.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
I know.
What about the doink in the Super Bowl?
Oh,
no doink.
Well, no,
I guess that would be the opposite.
That's the exact opposite.
Hank did the no doink.
But he did out of spite. So he didn't actually think that there was going to be a doink. He just did it because he knew I was betting no doinks. That's actually a great comp for the line.
Yeah.
Because I think, what are the Pacers right now? Plus 550?
Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have
580. I thought it was this morning. Whatever. It's the same number. Keep going.
I don't think there's been... Like it doesn't. You're talking about like big time games too, right? Because there are definitely moments like there's coaches, where it's like Mike Vrabel used to do this with the Titans, where it's like, oh, here's a Titans game, like where everyone's picking against them and they're going to win this game. Or Mike Tomlin on the road is a dog. It's like, well, yeah, give me Mike Tomlin on the road as a dog, but that doesn't really count.
No, I don't think that counts at all. And the gambling part of it that drives me crazy is when a guy takes the massive odds and then tries to take credit for like picking it straight up like they thought that was going to happen.
Right.
And that drives me fucking nuts because it's like, somebody loves the payout, so then they invest in the payout and then they pretend after the fact. Like if somebody were to bet the Pacers, who's just a gambler, and then the Pacers win, it's like, I told you. It's like, did you tell us or did you just like the odds?
Yeah.
I also think it's different, obviously, in football than it is in bat. You have 7-game series here.
Yeah.
That's true, too. And I didn't mean to dismiss you on the Commanders thing, but that's because you're a fan of them.
No,
you
dismiss away. Yeah, I agree with that. I think anybody that's picking the Pacers right now, I would be shocked if I heard a good basketball reason behind it besides just the fact that everyone else is taking the other side, so I'm going to be different.
Yeah, this might be a goal of ours. We got to figure out. We got to finally call our shot on a game.
What if it's the Pacers?
What if it's the Pacers?
But we're definitely just doing
it
to be different, and I can't do that to Caruso.
What about Travis Hunter, 40-1? We had that. No big deal.
What did you get on his number being retired? What was the payout on Shador's number being retired?
Good question.
That one was actually minus money.
All right, so we got to find one. We got to do this at some point. We got to find a big game.
We should all,
yeah,
because we do this
but
for a living, and we're wrong enough on the favorites,
right?
To just feel like, hey, do we just because? And again, like to the dismissive point, because we live it every single day. The guy that can't stop tweeting about his fucking team, who then is like, "See, I told you."
Right?
And you're like, what was your fucking reasoning?
Right.
Yeah, and also, what was the alternative?
The other outcome was going to make you cry, like So, to me, those never really count all that much. That happens a lot in college football too.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, yeah, you didn't think we could do this. It's like, well, why did you think you could do it? Like, I'm telling you right now, like my process was far less emotional than yours was, and you ended up being right about it. But this is sometimes it's fun, man. You know who Stanford Steve every now and then would just throw a doozy at you.
Yeah. But Stanford Steve also has been doing this thing to me, and I don't know if it's like a bit, but he's been like texting me to like take things, and I think he's just trying to get me to change the odds a little bit, like super long shots, and then I'll bet it, and then he'll like do something else. So that's how I ended up with the Kyle Schwarber 90-1 MVP ticket.
That's some sinister shit.
He might be doing it. I don't know.
I have somebody who'll hit me up being like, hey, don't you think this? And I would be like, yeah. And then I kind of think like, this guy's already heard me say this, so he knows I think exactly this. And then he'll be like, I can't believe all these people think this. And I'll be like, yeah, I agree. I've said this like 7 times. We are in agreement. And then I realize like he has a future on it and wants me to keep banging the table more and more for it.
Let's get the brains going though. Let's hop on the group chat, find a long shot that we believe in, and then we can. How about this one?
By the way, Russillo was talking about Travis Hunter there.
What?
Me texting him being like, hey, you should talk about Travis Hunter more.
Oh, yeah. No, but I'm just saying.
I wasn't talking about you, but that did happen. Because I wouldn't think that you would do it to me, but I guess you wanted an outside guy. Because I remember when that text happened, and I said, are you nuts? I go, I'm actually doing an open on it today. And you were like, good, I can't wait. And then after I did it, Big Cat goes, that was really good. I have a 40-1 on it. Because I think I did the segment where I went, hey, like, who are we kidding at this point? Like, based on the field, I don't even know, like, who else are you voting for at this point? And then Big Cat was like, that was really well done. One of your best monologues.
Good job.
Because I was going to put you on the Panthers.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers to win the NFC.
Be a crazy one.
I believe in Bryce Young. What can I say?
It's funny, man. I was really happy with Bryce Young this year. I started rooting for Bryce Young only because it felt like people wanted him to retire after week 8 of his rookie season.
Yeah.
If I had his height, I would be in the NFL. Was he 5'10"?
A question about SGA. If the Thunder go on and win this, is he up like where is he top 7 all-time season? Top 9?
All-time season? I don't know that off the top of my head.
It's pretty crazy when you actually stack it up. MVP, scoring title, 80-plus win team. Like, it's kind of – he's in a weird spot where he's kind of underrated because people don't like watching his game, which I understand the complaints. But, like, he will submit one of the best seasons ever in terms of totality. Just seasons I'm talking about.
Yeah, just seasons. I'd have to do more work on it. But 2 things that you said there. One, the free throw thing. I think was really worried about it, like a Brunson SGA finals, because there's always a bit of a reminder. Like I remember there was some Harden stuff in 2018 where you could tell how little regular season Houston Rockets basketball people on social media had actually watched during the regular season. And it was like, what the fuck is this? You're like, first Rockets game?
Yeah.
And you could see with Brunson and SGA, just more eyes were on it in a way where people were paying attention. And again, I'm not to gatekeep it like this. It's not like I'm a WNBA fan and I don't want people to watch my product, but I look at it where I was worried about what could happen there with Brunson and SGA. And I also, it becomes like just so annoying. It's a bit like, it's a bit political where, again, the only people defending Brunson are Knicks fans with it, and it's on the SGA side, it's like, no, your fouls suck. Our fouls suck less. And then you have foul totals and you go, hey, I like how you guys made something that's pretty simple, really complicated. For those of us that have no emotional tie to it whatsoever, the foul merchanting of today fucking sucks compared to the total number of free throws. Like, we watched all those games, and I'm not saying Jordan didn't get a few calls. You don't need to clip me as if case closed, but over the course of like whatever the free throw rates were or the free throw totals were, it sucks way more now with the most egregious players than it ever sucked in the past, because the officials don't penalize the players in the past for baiting them. The old school officials, and Van Gundy said this to me, so you don't even have to believe me. He's like, the old school guys would police it in this gray area, which is what officiating needs to be more like, where it's like, hey, you got me, and fuck you the rest of the game.
Right.
Like, I'm never giving you one of those. And guess what the player stops doing? All of that stuff. So I just think there's a lot of smart people that started counting up free throws for any guy. Pick a guy you don't like, trying to argue, oh, actually, historically, it's not that bad. It's like, okay, so now you've just eliminated the visual comparison where it's certainly more bad, or worse, I should say. And, unfortunately gets in the way of what can be awesome games and an awesome product.
This is where, Russillo, you doing a podcast on your own hurts you, because you have to speak the truth. We did something accidentally on this podcast that's actually been very great for us. I went after Jalen Brunson's foul merchanting, and PFT went after SGA's foul merchanting. So, like, there's always a guy who didn't, like, people will be like, tag me in a tweet and be like, oh, but PFT doesn't like this, and tag PFT in a tweet and be like, oh, but Big Cat doesn't like Brunson.
Yeah,
so we split it right down the middle.
Now it's to the point where Oklahoma City fans, they don't think I should take any joy in Alex Caruso winning a championship.
Yeah, we split it right down the middle.
I do stand by my take with SGA, and you're right. It's the thing I don't like about the foul merchant stuff. It's not the act of shooting free throws. Like, don't get me wrong, I would rather see open play. I would rather see, like, not a whistle every 30 seconds and guys going to the line. But, like, free throws, I don't get triggered by watching people shoot free throws. I get triggered by watching guys dribble through the lane, fall down, acting like they're falling down because they got fouled, but they're falling down under control, shooting a shot that they've practiced when they practice flopping, and then getting to the line that way. That part, to me, that's hard to watch.
Yeah, I think Brunson's grosser than SGA is, because there's so much with Brunson that's off the ball, like shoving a guy as he's trying to cut. And then, like, every single thing with Brunson is some sort of dramatic sell. I mean, you'd think he'd get sick of it on some of the off-ball stuff. I mean, he drew, like, Knicks fans will always say, oh, look at his free throw rate and look at all these other guys. It's like he actually drew the second most fouls per game than any other player in the league. And number one is Giannis by a pretty healthy margin, because Giannis is just, you just, there's nothing you can fucking do against that guy physically. But to bring some sort of conclusion on this thing that you'd asked me about, SGA's all-time season, I don't know, again, off the top of my head, but this is when we're really dangerous, because the morning shows can't, if SGA runs through this finals MVP, which is all a very likely outcome coming off of this MVP, and for a guard to have the efficient season that he had, and he would have had the free throw part of it that I would defend SGA on is, like, it's not like he's just some free throw guy and that's the only thing that's working here. He's fucking incredible. All right. But those shows, if that happens, it's going to be like, hey, does this guy have the NBA belt? Is this the best player in the world? And this is where I would be probably a downer on those TV shows, is I'd go, I have him fourth still. Like, I know he just won the title. I feel like that Jokic series against OKC is, like, I don't know how anybody watches that series and then feels worse about Jokic this year. To me, Jokic is unobtainable. Like, you cannot get to his level right now. And there's going to be a lot of people arguing just because it's better. It's better. Nobody goes, if Mission Impossible 8 comes out, nobody in the review goes, third best one.
Right.
It has to be the best Mission Impossible ever. And it's the best one every fucking time there's a new one. And with SGA on the cusp of this, nobody's going to feel like they're having fun if they're saying, yeah, okay, now I have him ahead of Giannis, where I would have Giannis and Jokic ahead of everybody. And then we could talk about Luka and SGA, which is kind of funny. Like, Luka SGA. Like SGA still sort of locked in. I don't know. I don't think a sane person, a real basketball person, should look at this and be like, okay, SGA is now the best in the world, because they're going to look back on that take in October going, whoa, I got fucking caught up in everything.
Yeah, but what's crazy about SGA's game is he doesn't have to do the foul merchant stuff. He would still
doesn't have to.
He's a great player. He's a great player when he's not doing that.
Yeah. And by the way, your point I agree with. Saying accolades like one of the most impressive years doesn't mean he's the best. I'm just saying, like, statistically, when you match it all up, what he did this year could be up there with, like, holy shit, that was an insane season. Doesn't mean I would take him over Jokic.
Right. Like, did you guys have Halliburton in your top 10 before the playoffs started?
Oh, yeah.
I did. I had him. I had the Pacers above the Celtics going to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. We had him. Yeah.
Hank hated
Who
that.
Who did you have him ahead of?
I had him ahead of Brunson.
Tatum.
I had him ahead of Tatum for sure. And
Donovan
Brown.
Mitchell
Easily.
Giannis.
Paolo.
Yeah, that's a good chunk. That's a good, healthy chunk of guys right there.
Embiid.
You're better at it than I am, because I have never thought Halliburton's a top 10 player. And by the way, nobody would even start shit with you saying that 4 weeks ago. No one would. I had him all NBA third team. So that means I believe he's in this kind of like 13th best to 17th best player.
The Dak range.
Yeah, which is a lot worse for Dak than it is Halliburton. Because there's so many basketball players. And, I don't know, over the course of a season, 48 quarterbacks, really, maybe 28.
Hey, the Dak range is a great range to be in.
He's got paid a shitload of money.
You should do that. Like if you were doing ESPN still. I got Halliburton in the Dak range. That's a real crossover that Greeny would be going nuts for.
That would be Greeny would be losing his mind on that one.
What about
like, hey, let's bump Jalen Rose.
What about this one? Me and Big Cat have been working on this one, that this is going to be the worst Thunder team to win a championship. Because they're going to get so much better over the course of the next couple seasons with their draft picks. This is actually a down year for the Thunder.
Yeah. We're going to look back.
Wow. You might be right.
Yeah, you like it, don't you?
You thought
like
about it, and you were like, these boys know.
They're going to win 4 or 5, and we're going to look back and be like, that 2025 team, not that great compared to the 2027 team, the 28 team.
28 is when they come into form.
Yeah, 28 is going to be in special.
I'll be happy if they win, just so people can be like, okay, finally, Presti's good.
Yeah.
Like that group that was holding out. This guy has just been like an absolute architect. He wants a certain kind of player. The personality part that they emphasize, because there's a realness to this team, and like how, and look, the Pacers kind of have this too. So I'm not trying to make this all about the Thunder, but this is why they're the heavy favorites. But the guy in the friend group or text chain that it's like, all right, give me your 3 best executives in basketball. And you'd be like Presti. And then, the guy's like, people talk a lot about how good Presti is. He hasn't won anything. You know what else is funny too about
You're
the Thunder?
You're in some great text threads.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I enjoy that one a lot. Changing my number soon. I'll get that to you guys. But let's look at this Thunder rebuild real quick, because you realize it was only like a couple years.
Yeah.
They were in, obviously, Chris Paul, if his teammates, if SGA had stepped up more in that Game 7 against the Rockets 4 years ago. Well, longer
that's
than
what
that.
we all think. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were bad for 2 years.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy. Like, that gets lost in, hey, it finally paid off. They were, 20? So they lose in 20. That's the Rockets game. Remember, Harden had a block towards the end, and they were like, people knock this guy's defense. You're like, it's just fucking one play. All right. 22 and 50, 24 and 58. And when they went 40 and 42 2 years ago, people were like, what the fuck? Like, that's incredible that they're 40 and 42. It was 2 down years, and some of these teams are on year 15.
Yeah. And it's also like you could say a similar thing about the Pacers in the fact that the Pacers had, when they had they traded for Sabonis, and Oladipo obviously was injured, but there's a lot of franchises that are just be like, oh yeah, we'll just continue to be like the 7th to 10th best team in the East, and like we're not gonna to get out of what they were in that quickly too. Both these teams are just incredible built.
If you could have the Thunder's roster tomorrow And I said, you can't watch the Cubs for 10 years.
Ooh.
10 years. Well,
That's
remember,
a
you're
long time.
getting 5 championships.
PCA
out
is
of it.
really awesome. 5 championships.
5, yeah, minimum.
My brother talks about that guy.
PCA?
Yeah.
He's fun.
He's fun. He's so fast.
I was
He's so
I was
fun.
like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, he's like my favorite player.
He is going to – I'll say this. There's going to be a slight regression just because he's been playing out of his mind, but he's still very good. Like, people are going to start shit. You know, when you can feel it coming, especially in baseball, we're like
Wally Joyner?
This guy's going so hot. Obviously, he's going to have a stretch where he's not going to get a couple hits, and then the haters are going to pile on and be like, see, he actually does suck. That's why
you should take it to Threads.
Yeah,
Nobody will bug you there.
I'm getting ready for it. He's still awesome. I don't care.
Ryan, I got a question for you because I can just sense topics sometimes that you're going to be worked up about, and I want to just let you.
This whole SGA belt thing was the other open I was going to do this week, but now I'm not going to do it.
I just want to hear you speak about small markets and what this means for the NBA as a whole.
You can mix in a little ratings. Like just
that's part of the small market.
Yeah,
combo.
maybe the thought starter like Jumbotron.
Ratings aren't going to be good.
Yeah, Jumbotron in your
good.
head is a Clay Travis tweet being like, "Look, the NBA is dying. Now go."
Yeah, they're losing market share to the WNBA, which I also hate.
Yeah. Look, I think a lot of the ratings decline stuff is driven by people's political beliefs, where if you're really, really right wing, you love the idea of the NBA being a dying product because it's probably the most progressive of the league, certainly more progressive than the NHL. There's a lot of bubble stuff that maybe I would even understand some of the criticism of it being in the moment, feeling like it was the right thing, and then looking back years later being like, group economics jersey? What the fuck was that? But what I don't like is disingenuous arguments. And I would tell you, people that are like in the TV game, the people making these decisions that I've talked to of investing into live rights are like, who the fuck is using traditional ratings anymore?
Right.
And if you want to hit me over the head with every NFL rating, guess what? I submit. I'm going to tap out before they even ask me if I'm ready in the octagon. I can't. I don't have an argument. It's the best product. It's on network TV. Everybody. It is a part of Americana. It's the best packaged. The scarcity of the inventory and all of those things, and the fact that it's an OKC Indiana matchup, like the guys that are going to be doing victory laps on this, I already can name them all, right? But I also saw like ratings numbers for OKC Minnesota that were terrible while ignoring like some really great New York Pacers series numbers. And you're just like, okay, as soon as I see what you're doing, like I remember this, one of my favorite examples of like how fucking pathetic some people are with their political ideology and just hitting you over the fucking head with it over and over and over again is when Kaepernick, that deal had been signed where Kaepernick was with Nike. And if the Nike stock went down, then everybody on the right side of it was like, see, fucking morons. And then the stock price would go up. And then the left side of it would be like, this shows that America like gets it and whatever. And what the reality is, it fucking had nothing to do with the Kaepernick deal.
Yeah.
It was just the way the markets fucking work. There was nothing significant. And whatever way the stock went for like 2 weeks, people were going back and forth and arguing it. And my whole point would be like, you're about to get an example, a piece of evidence that tells you now the NBA is now a declining product when we already know because of the small market, the rating isn't going to be strong. But is that really what this is? Is that really what the investment is from the broadcast partners, where it felt like every single person that has a channel wanted to get involved in the NBA? It's not the NFL. It's not perfect. But, you want to compare it to the 90s? All right, let's do it with the NBA. It looks terrible. You want to do it with any other fucking TV show from the 90s? Because I'm telling you right now, It's probably going to look bad when you start comparing sitcoms to Friends.
Yeah. 7 billion people watched the Seinfeld finale.
Are you aware of who I am, Larry?
He got canceled.
Dude, that Larry King Seinfeld thing is so good. And some people were like, oh, Jerry kind of let him have it. I'm like, I actually think he kind of, sometimes I don't prep for an interview, and then I watch that Larry King Seinfeld one, and I go, you prep enough.
Brandon Marshall.
Look, Brandon Marshall.
Keep it in this lane. Like, I know I'm on and we're all friends. Do you think I'm crazy for having maybe a bit more open-mindedness of like what the ratings truths really are? Because I I don't know. Maybe I'm because I know it's like, oh, you're the NBA guy. So I defend what I think is like a reasoned way of looking at things, and I'm not trying to tell you like, hey, it's the NFL, because that'd be fucking stupid of me to even try to do. But if the NHL dips in ratings or the MLB dips in ratings, nobody ever talks about how progressive they were as a league.
I also just find it very funny that like. I don't watch sports to be like, I hope a lot of people are also watching this with me. I just don't. I'm excited for these NBA finals. I'm going to watch all the NBA finals. If the ratings stink, I'm not going to be like, damn, well, that was a waste of time.
Yeah, I like the other part of this is kind of like you ask the owners, you go, what do you want? Well, they just did the new TV deal. So timing of things, if it were expiring, this summer, or, again, they'd have the negotiation done prior to that. But like if the heat of the negotiation was coming off what's going to be potentially a terrible ratings final, maybe that impacts the value of it. But it does feel like all of these broadcast partners go, hey, I'd still rather be in the second best live rights thing outside of football, which, again, college football and the bowl games and what those numbers do are incredible and everything like that. But on a grander scale of like what the owners want or don't want, I mean, this league forever, the lack of parity, if you didn't have a top 5 guy, if you didn't have a number 2 guy that was number 10, like it really was like there was no point. And for a long time, we were conditioned to accept that if one team had 2 stars, then the next third star was going to be mad and want to go join those guys. Mm-hmm. So clearly, in a way to pull back some from the player empowerment decade that we had, the owners introduced stricter financial restrictions. When you really dig into what happens to a team when it's over the second apron for a little while, it's like you're losing draft picks and all this stuff. Or like, hey, in the past, when the player said, I want to go there and only there, now you can go back to that player saying, hey, we'd love to do it for you, but we actually are not legally allowed to do any of those things. And on top of it, trying to, even though it's a split, which is a percentage and the players are guaranteed that amount of money, the restrictions for what individual teams can do, it felt like all the owners wanted these things to speak to greater parity, to pull some of the power back, and then feel like they have a better chance. So there's a version of this finals matchup where you go, in a world where it felt like this league had the least amount of parity, is it actually on this stretch of parity that is better for all of the markets as opposed to the very top? Now, granted, look, the NBA offices still rather this be Knicks Lakers. Who are we fucking kidding? But if you're an owner of any of these teams, you probably feel like you have more of a chance than you've ever had before with this version of the NBA.
Agree. Yeah, I think it's better as a whole. And like Big Cat said, I personally don't care what the ratings are. I don't care if other people are watching it en masse like they have in the past. But the one thing I do care about is afterwards when they put out the ratings of like the 50 most watched events on TV this year. I care about it all being NFL and then maybe one NBA game.
Or maybe an Olympics.
And then Albert Breer quote tweeting it and saying NFL is king.
Yeah.
That's what I care about.
Yeah, because we respect the Shield.
That's my Super Bowl.
Yeah, you guys are big football guys.
You could say that.
Yeah.
I know. I see like
king.
the countdowns.
Yeah.
The countdowns to like week 1 tweets. It'll get like 7,000 likes.
Yeah. We have a countdown clock in our office. College football countdown clock.
That one I don't understand. I'll never understand it. How many fucking tackles did you make? I don't really get that. No, I don't get the prideful well, I am a football guy.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, you're a basketball guy.
No shit, Ryan.
No,
I guess I don't get it.
Yeah, you would never get it. We're speaking a different language. Listen.
Yeah, but for me, who watches like 20 hours of football a weekend.
Yeah.
See, for you, it's a job. For us, it's life.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
You're right.
Listen.
You're right. You have that shirt too, right? That says "Football is life."
Yeah,
football is life. The rest is just details.
This is a long way.
I can't even wear that.
This is a long way of us saying, like, "Hey, we hope your little league does okay in the NBA Finals." All right, like we're
thanks
rooting
for giving me
you.
this platform.
We're rooting for you. I got one last question. Rowback question. RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE. 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Rowback.com. Promo code TAKE. Ryan, well, I need your official prediction, and then I'll ask the last question. Thunder in
5. I played, I think it was plus 680. Thunder games 1 and 2, Pacers game 3, Thunder game 4 and 5.
Ooh, I like that. All right, my last question. As a former ESPNer, obviously there was a lot of talk this week inside the NBA is going to ESPN. Who's the weirdest person that could be on inside the NBA? Is it like Schefter or someone?
I think it's more interesting to like. Well, by the way, I don't want to make the Mina Kimes joke again because that ended up. I know. Because I wasn't, and I haven't talked to her, but I saw her respond to awful announcing, which I was surprised wasn't doing another Levitard story, so they had room for something else.
Something changed, by the way, recently with awful announcing. They just aggregate everything. It's like everything's a beef. It's bizarre. I don't know what.
Well, I think they do big numbers.
They do.
They do really big numbers because there's a show that basically started like pivoting into covering every single beef. And my whole point was the people that lose their minds when Mina is on a show. It had nothing to do with.
No, I knew it. Yeah.
I don't know. It turned into a bit of a thing, and I was pretty busy yesterday, so I was like, I'm not going to worry about this one today. I'm just going to kind of let it. I'm going to let it sort of live and then die off a little bit. I do think it'd be really interesting to like see who would ask to be on it.
Yeah.
Who would like sincerely think, like, I don't think Schefter's beyond being crazy enough to be like, do you
need me?
Could it happen?
You need a point guard?
Yeah. You need somebody to come in
listen,
and do something?
I know they say you can't win with small point guards. I won't. No playoffs. Regular season only.
What about?
I don't know how Stephen A. doesn't just like.
Oh, he's going to be all
show.
over.
He is on that
he's
show.
on the show.
Yeah.
He's sitting in Chuck's lap.
But they're not going to want that.
Oh, you know who'd be a good one?
Boomer.
Well, Boomer deserves to be on it. I wouldn't, and I love him. And now I'll get aggregated. I could see Orlovsky maybe getting in there for a segment.
He's tall as shit.
He's really tall. He's a great athlete.
They'd probably just bring him in to talk about food.
Yeah, Chuck would just make fun of his hey, eat a Reese's in front of us. We want to make fun of you.
Orlovsky would be like, you know what I put in my cereal instead of milk is mayonnaise. And then, boom, that's 45 minutes of TV.
You know, it'd be killer is if Orlovsky was allowed, he sat down and just turns to the group and goes, I'm here to bring the white guy's perspective.
Oh, yeah, Dan doing weird food. I would watch that for sure.
I would watch Stanford Steve on Inside the NBA, too.
Yep.
That crew loves Stanford Steve.
Well, everyone does.
So there's behind the scenes people that love Stanford Steve. He's hung out with them. He might have the best chance. If Ernie's off, I could see them asking Van Pelt and then them liking because Chuck likes everybody loves Van Pelt too. That would be, but I disagreed with Bill. Bill was like, they're going to fuck it up. And
they can't.
Everybody treats that show like everyone finds. I mean, you could even make an argument the show's a little fucking overrated.
Oh, that's good. That's awful announcing right there. Yep.
No, just that when they come on and they don't want to talk about the game, and Shaq dumps on a center, and then they're like, "We don't even know who this guy is," or "This game sucked." Like the fact that they've been doing it this long, they can get away with all that stuff. When the segments are really long and then it goes into the unplanned stuff, they are better than that than everybody else. But there's a lot of stuff in that show. If you were starting it out being like, what the fuck did those guys just do? Like we've all accepted it. If that show launched next week and none of those guys have been on TV and they say and do some of the stuff that they do, they would be much more harshly criticized.
Oh yeah.
And because it's also not an ESPN show and it gets to be a TNT show, I think that gives it a bit of a bump. But look, they already they almost had to release some sort of statement, like getting in front of the whole thing by saying we're actually not going to do what Simmons said.
Yeah. Well, they can't.
Which is crazy.
They can't mess with it because the reaction will be so severe if it changes at all. Like it is such a beloved show, and it's hard to have a show that has that high of approval rating. That if they mess with it, like you don't bring in that show and mess with it.
And Barkley could also just say, "Hey, they're trying to fuck with our show on the air."
He would say it
on
immediately.
The air, right,
immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't do that.
I would have a hard time believing that. They're probably going to be overly sensitive to try. Like, hey, what kind of lens do you guys use?
Right.
You know, is that desk a different color? Like, I would be surprised if at some point you wouldn't have like a Stephen A. going having to stop by or something, but people are going to be so mad about it when it happens. You better wait until like April.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope if they get SVP to sit in, they make him wear the bow tie. Like we're just going to call you Ernie for tonight.
Tall Ernie.
Yeah.
I know. It just SVP getting little brothered and he's like 57.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, you're the best. Everyone listen to Ryen Russillo podcast. Thank you. Excited about the NBA Finals. listen, we're going to watch, so we're going to do our part.
All right, but now I'm disappointed because I want to talk about what I was reading.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, go
By
ahead.
all means.
Go ahead.
Almost done with Chernow's latest opus, 1,000 pages on Mark Twain.
Oh, wow.
Mark Twain's a fast. You know, he was a Shakespeare truther.
He would have tweeted a ton.
Yeah.
1,000 pages on Mark Twain.
Yeah, didn't know I needed it.
Can't
but now
put
I
it
do.
down?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's Chernow. You got to, as a citizen, as a legal citizen, you got to do your part and read Chernow.
Yeah.
So, would you characterize Twain as a humorist or as a satirist?
Oh, satirist, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
humorist is a word that people use for people that are trying to be funny that aren't funny.
Yeah. Bummed out guy, though, man.
That's your takeaway? Mark Twain,
Not so happy.
bummed out guy.
Bummed out guy. There's the book. You don't have to read the book now. Oh, man. All right, Ryan. You're the
All right.
best.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bummed out guy.
Ryen Russillo was brought to you by Experian. We're going to take a moment to talk about BFFs, like my BFF over there on the couch, Hank. Hank is just such a good guy, great guy. BFF, Hank, right?
For life.
Ride or die.
BFFL.
BFFFL.
Yep.
Well, there's one BFF that always looks out for you. Introducing your big financial friend, Experian. Experian has a bunch of legit ways to help you save. And get this, the Experian app lets you check your FICO score and a bunch more, totally BFF kind of things to help you manage your finances. Bet your other BFFs can't do all that, huh? Experian is here to support you in making smart financial decisions and maximize your financial potential. Get started by download the Experian app at no cost and let your big financial friend help you take control of your financial future. Get started by downloading the Experian app today. Russillo was also brought to you by Aura. That's right, Aura Ring. New sponsor alert. Here's an easy question. How are you feeling today? Now a harder question. Why? If you had an Aura Ring on your finger, it wouldn't be such a mystery. Aura gives you personalized updates about your sleep, stress, activity, heart health, recovery, and more, all from a sleek, smart ring. You'll get incredible data about your body, including long-term trends and feedback on the stats that matter for living a long, healthy life. That's why everywhere I look, I see more and more people wearing one. Since the Aura Ring looks like a normal ring, you're getting all the benefits of health tracking without looking like you're wearing a gadget. It's accurate, it's comfortable, it's durable, and with up to 8 days of battery life, you can forget you're even wearing it. That's a game changer. 8 days of battery life on the Aura Ring. Getting old has never looked so good. Now give Aura the finger. Learn more at auraring.com/PMT. That's OURARING.com/PMT. And now, here's our good friend Keith Yandle.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, very, very special guest, very good friend, colleague from Spittin' Chicklets. It is Keith Yandle. Very, you want another one?
I'll take another.
Well, it's hard when it's recurring guest and coworker and friend. So it's like, I don't know if I go very, very good friend or very, very special guest. Do you know what I mean?
I'll take both.
Okay.
I'd say great friend, even better guest.
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge. Yeah, I'll take anything.
Yeah. All right, so Stanley Cup final. We're ready to go. Your Florida Panthers versus Witt's Edmonton Oilers. There it is, right there. Let's start with the most important thing. I told you that you got an invite from Marlins Man to sit on the glass, and I think you just ha-ha'd it and not replied. Does that mean that you are going to go with Marlins Man and sit on the glass?
Well, your text was, Marlins Man has 4 seats on the glass. Yans has 1, so I thought that was already
Okay, you're done.
cut.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, good. So you're going to sit with Marlins Man. Are you
100%.
excited for that?
Yeah, I can't wait. Never sat on the glass before, so that'll be a first. I plan on wearing all my clothes, unlike the last guy who's sitting on the glass that works for this company,
Yes.
Oldie.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
You know,
I met Marlins Man at the racetrack down at the Gulfstream one time, and obviously his shirt said Marlins Man. I told him that we're very, very, very good friends and very good coworkers. So I talked to him for a bit, but what a trip that guy is.
Yeah, I remember that you FaceTimed me out of the blue, and I was like, oh, Jans is FaceTiming me in the middle of the day, and then you just put the phone on Marlins man. I was like, oh, man, here we go. He's locked in.
You got to ask him about his cats when you're hanging out with him.
All he could talk about was your mom.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Marlins man.
It was crazy.
What a
I'm
sicko.
like, man.
Yeah, I love the guy, but let's stay away from family here, Marlins man. Let's be clear about that. You should ask him about his cats. He's got like 9 Maine Coon cats, and they're all, I think, like 50 pounds. He's got Panthers living in his house.
Yeah.
Well, that means so he got the seats on the glass for free just for being that big of a loyal fan and owning that many cats. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's talk some hockey. How are you feeling confidence-wise? Obviously, a rematch from last year goes 7. Now you got to go to Edmonton first. It feels like the Panthers are the best team, but like, are you nervous at all that like this might be a storybook Connor McDavid, kind of like Sidney Crosby, kind of like Wayne Gretzky, where he loses and then wins in the rematch type of year?
Yeah, no, I mean, everyone puts all that type of stuff out there on the internet. They did it for, the first round series against Toronto with, Biz and his buddy Hockey Illuminati it's just people making up ways to hopefully help their team win. But I don't see anything with it. Different times, different players, different teams. That stuff means absolutely nothing. Obviously, it's good storylines and something to talk about, but I think when it comes down to it, it really doesn't mean anything. And this Florida Panthers team, man, they know what they're doing. They know how to play in these big games. Obviously, Edmonton back in the finals as well. But I think that Florida is too deep. Too big, too mean, and they're ready to roll.
So if we're comparing it to last year, that would be a pretty fair comparison, right? Two teams rematch. Which team do you think improved the most over the last 12 months?
Honestly, I'd probably say Florida. There was a lot of talk with Edmonton getting a little bit older and a little bit slower, but those guys have helped them out a ton this year. I think Corey Perry, 40 years old. I think this is his 5th or 6th. Stanley Cup appearance. So I wouldn't even say that that's a bad thing for them getting older and slower. They're getting a lot of help from those guys, but I think just what the moves that Florida made with bringing in a stud defenseman like Seth Jones, and then Brad Marchand, who's probably going to be a Hall of Famer and a guy that is built for playoff hockey and built the way that Florida has been playing the last few years. So in my opinion, I would say Florida got, obviously they were really good last year and won it all, but I think they got even better and even deeper.
So from like a nerd hockey perspective, I feel like I kind of understand Florida, but maybe you can explain it better. Like their strength is their depth and the fact that they are able to just keep on rolling lines and forecheck the fuck out of you, and you basically never feel like you have good footing in an offensive set. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, very fair. And I don't even know if it's like a depth thing because every team's deep and has good players, and there's so many good players in the league. I think it's more like I give a lot of credit to Sasha Barkov. Like if someone on his line goes out, they can bring a guy in from the stands, and he's going to look like he's been playing on his line all year. It just goes to show how good Barkey is, and just a true hockey player where all he wants to do is make people around him better. He's so unselfish, just won the Selke, just won the leadership award as well. So just a guy that has all the hardware and, has nothing to prove in this game. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, but I think just what he does for his line mates and the guys that are playing with him to help them, be a better player, to help them, get their success. Cause he honestly, like he doesn't care about himself. All he cares about is winning. And, you see, I think it was 2 series ago, Boquist, who hadn't played at all, gets put on his line and he had 2 goals. And like, he looked like he was a first line player. So I think a lot of that credit should go to Barkey with how deep their team is, just because they can plug anyone in with him and he's a horse and they can flourish with him.
I want to get your feedback on a very important issue to us as a podcast, the handshake line. We love the handshake line. The best tradition in sports, but there was some controversy about the handshake line in the Eastern Conference Finals. Can you tell us, one, if we should be offended as handshake line guys, and 2, should coaches be in the handshake line?
Yeah, I think you should be offended. And yes, coaches should be involved, I think. I mean, obviously I'm not a coach, and Paul Maurice has done it a lot longer than, 90% of the guys in the league. But I just think that, maybe he's downplaying how much that the coaches mean to a team, especially during playoffs. It's, the hours that they're putting in, the schemes that they're coming up with, the video that they're watching. I think they deserve to be in there. And, whether you're winning a series or losing a series, going through that handshake line, just what it means to, shake every guy's hand, look him in the eye, tell him either good luck or good series. I think it's one of the best traditions in hockey, and it shouldn't be taken away.
Yeah, I watch the games for the handshake line sometimes, and to have the coaches just say we're not a part of it, dude. You're part of it. You're part of this team. Yep. I think he was saying that coaches didn't used to be, but then they became part of the handshake line, and now they're trying to pull that back, and they're trying to say no, we're not doing this anymore. I say the more handshakes, the better.
Yeah, I do like how they only do it once. Like, you never hate shaking hands after a regular season game. It's all hate till, that 7-game series where guys are literally trying to kill each other, and, to just show the amount of class that guys have of going out there, shaking guys' hands, and what it means. And like you guys, like, the fans love seeing it. You see these animals going to work every single night and trying to kill each other, and then they're just shaking hands and giving hugs and licking their wounds.
Did you ever get in a handshake line where you shook hands with someone and they're like, I don't really think they mean it? Like, they're not respecting the handshake line?
No, not really. I remember my most favorite one is when it was Montreal and Boston, and Milan Lucic looked every single guy in the eye. I think Montreal beat Boston. He was like, basically like, I'm going to kill you next game. I'm going to kill you next game. Look it up. It's one of the most frightening things, because he was like a bona fide monster. Like, he could have beat up anyone, and he'd scored 20, 30 goals a year. So I think that one kind of sticks out the most, but I was never a part of anywhere there was any shenanigans going on.
Is it usually just guys being like, go win it all?
Yeah. It usually, it depends, because at the end of the day, if you do lose to a team, it looks better if that team that beat you goes on to win the Stanley Cup. So you're probably rooting for them a little bit. But yeah, it's usually the great series. During playoffs, you're mostly playing against the same guys. You're matched up against the same guys. So you see a lot of each other, and just telling a guy great series, you did a number on me, those type of things, that it goes a long way.
I'm watching this video right now of Lucic. He is just staring every guy. He's like,
scary.
He's like, you're fucking dead. You're fucking dead. And the Canadians are just like, come on, guys, let's get through this line. He's going to start a fight out here. That guy rocks.
Yeah, he's the man.
Are you worried at all about Skinner starting to kind of stand on his head a little bit? Because he's had weird moments in these playoffs. Obviously, they started down. What was it? 0-2? Did they start the whole playoffs? Yeah, down 0-2.
He had the Kings, right?
Yeah, against the Kings, he had the buzzer beater goal with the Golden Knights series. But in between that, he's been awesome. And do you feel confident that Bob is going to outplay Skinner, or is there a chance that Skinner has another level to him?
I think this layover is good for the Panthers. I think, worst case, I think they might lose first game. I think there's going to be a lot of goals, so take the over first game.
Love that.
Sponsored by DraftKings. But I think that's going to hurt them, because I don't think Skinner can turn it on like Bob can. I think you got to have to be that different type of animal that Bob is, where, if he goes out on Wednesday, tonight when the show's airing, he could give up 6 and then the next game give up none. But so I think for Oilers fans, if Skinner does go out and lay an egg, tonight, I think they could be in for a long series. But I think Bob has the mental capacity to, if he does have a bad game, to shut it off and go on to the next one.
How much does Connor McDavid scare you? Because, that's obviously he's the best player in the world. Yeah. Hockey's not like NBA where it's like, all right, team with the best player is going to win. It's more of a team sport. But is there a world where you're like, what if Connor McDavid just plays out of his mind and that could be it?
Yeah, and it does scare me a little. I mean, obviously he's been amazing this whole playoff series, but this whole playoffs. But remember last year, I think he had 40 points, which is insane. And, so there could be one of those series where he really just pops off and he's, got 15 points by the end of this series. So that scares me a little bit because, he's one of one where, he's a guy that at any time can do whatever he wants on the ice. He can, score goals, have, make great plays. And he's got another top 5 player in the league, Leon Draisaitl, with him. And then when they put those guys together, when they're down a goal or two, it's scary as an opposing team. You're going to get a lot of shots on you, a lot of time in your D zone. But like we said earlier, with Bob, I think he's that guy in there that kind of settles the group a little bit. And we talked to Sam Reinhart yesterday, and he's, they play where their D are up in the play, they're pinching, they're up in the offense, and they're willing to make some mistakes and give up some odd man rushes because they know they got Bob back there to to settle them down and make big saves. But yeah, Connor does scare me a little bit, just with how good of a player he is. But I think Florida has the guys that can control him.
All right, so play devil's advocate because obviously you're rooting for the Panthers. What do the Oilers have to do to win this series?
Oh man, I think it has to be McDavid, the McDavid show. I think he's got to put on a clinic. I think he's, earlier you said you look at the history of when Sid and Wayne and those guys passing the torch. I think for him to win this series, he's got to be the guy all series and not have any shifts off, because Florida's a team that doesn't take any shifts off. Their big guys play hard every single night. Even when Florida's big guys aren't scoring, like they're making plays defensively, they're not giving up opportunities. So I really think for him, if they're going to win this, he's got to put on a show for the ages.
Do you think Florida's dirty?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that. I mean, they it feels like they get under everyone's skin, and do you think like they'll not go like, well, yeah, they'll take runs at Connor McDavid in this series?
Yeah, I mean, you look at last year, Sam Bennett and Connor McDavid grew up playing on the same team. I think they're, really good friends. And, Bennett's punching him in the face after whistles. They're getting under his skin. And, it's just especially in the Stanley Cup playoffs, like it's, they call it North Bay rules because I guess there was a prison up in North Bay that there was no rules. So they call it North Bay rules, where it's just anything goes, got to find a way to win the game. And, Florida's done a really good job of that, but also staying out of the box too, because Edmonton's a team. If you get stuck on the PK all night, you're going to be losing a lot of games.
Yeah. So in terms of just the style matchup between the two teams, who would you say on paper has the advantage given the brand of hockey that they play?
Probably say Florida. I think home ice obviously is going to help Edmonton, but Florida's been really good on the road too. So. I really think that the way that Florida's built to play, they're built to play in the playoffs. They're big, they're mean, they're fast, their D are huge. Guys like Aaron Ekblad, Mikula, like these guys are 6'4" with massive, wingspans that can eliminate you anywhere on the ice. And, so I really think that their D especially are just built for playoffs. Like guys like Seth Jones, he's 6'4", probably 230, and just eliminates guys. So I would say Florida probably has the upper hand of the way that they're built.
All right, I want to talk Chicklets real quick because there's a storyline that came out this week. It's very NBA actually. I know you guys don't like to hear that, but one of the stars of your show, Biz, revealed that he's actually been injured throughout the entire playoffs, that he's got gout. How did Biz get gout? He looks to be in pretty good shape.
Well, he told us last night, and I looked it up online. He's eating 20 ounces of steak a night. He's eating He's eating a 12-ounce steak for dinner, like a normal at 7 o'clock. At TNT, they treat you right. Like they got runners taking it, and he's getting it from Morton's or whatever. Like, you know, they're loading it with butter and
salt.
So he's getting a 12-ounce steak at 7 o'clock, and then another 8-ounce steak at 10 o'clock, 11. He's like, oh, just because he doesn't eat a mashed potato with it, he thinks that he's doing the right thing. But the guy is just such a drag. And he sent a video walking through the airport the other day. It was so fucking funny. Like, how do you eat that much steak? And like, there's no, like, you shouldn't eat that in a month. Like,
right.
2 steaks, even
mix in a chicken.
I would
one
even
time.
say, I would even say if you eat 20 ounces of steak in one steak, that's different than having 2 separate servings of steak.
Yeah,
because your
100%.
body's like, okay, I'm in steak mode. I'm going to process the steak, but then like 3 hours later, his body's like, what the fuck, dude? More red meat.
He's doing an encore of steak.
Dessert steak has never been done.
his body's trying to break down the first 12 ounces as the next 8 ounces are coming in, and just it's he thinks because he only eats steak and goes for hikes that he's healthy, but to get gout not drinking is so unbelievable. Like that, he's got to be the first guy in history to ever have that.
That's incredible.
And Biz is in relatively good shape. He looks like he's still skinny. Works out. For him to get gout, it's like maybe just only have 1 steak for dinner. That's your prescription.
But like everybody else in the world, maybe do it once a week, maybe twice a week. Like Morton's has chicken, Morton's has salmon. They have salad. You can get whatever you want there. I mean, you guys know him more like as much as I do. He's an excessive guy, and whatever he's gonna do, he's going all in, and he's all in on the steak.
Was it kind of a pussy move for him to admit this before the Cup Finals? Like, this is something you got to say after the Cup Finals.
Yeah, it just goes to his inexperience, right? Like he's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. They're not used to getting out of like he's used
over,
to he's used to golfing right now. So, and he said he threw out his L5S1, which is a running joke with our group because he does more yoga than anyone. He stretches all day. Like if you ever see him. Like during Survivor, they'd have like 5-minute clips of him just stretching, and it's like
he does a whole routine in the morning.
It's crazy, and he's still very unflexible. It's probably because all the red meat, realistically. He's turning into a cow.
I threw out a stat on PMT on Monday, and I wanted your take on it because you actually were teammates with him. So this is the 45th consecutive year that a player in the Stanley Cup final is a teammate of Jaromir Jagr. You were a teammate of his. Was he just the best dude ever? It feels like he doesn't get talked enough about like being, whatever you want to say, top 10 player of all time. Also seems like the best dude. Was he just the best to be around?
I loved him. He was literally like a kid that just loved hockey. That's literally all he cared about was hockey. He was at the rink. Say you got to be there at 9 a.m. He was probably there at like 6:30, and he'd go home, nap for a little bit, and then come back to the rink. This is at home on the road, like where the arena is in Fort Lauderdale, in Sunrise. No one lives around there. Everyone lives in either Boca or Fort Lauderdale on the ocean. He lived within walking distance of the arena, just so he could be close to the rink, so he could go there every time. But he was such a treat, man. Like. Just his love for the game, like I think he was probably like 42 years old when I played with him, and just how happy he was every day to be at the rink. I'd bring like the way he used to snack on blueberry muffins or chocolate chip muffins, and I'd get him a muffin every once in a while, and he would love it. He'd eat it in the back of the bus like he was hiding something. But he was the best.
He also had some great mullets. Did he still have the mullet when he played with you?
No, I wish. That old school mullet that he had was so good coming out of the Jofa helmet. Probably the worst helmet of all time, but he made it look good. His hair at one point was like your length, PFT.
Yeah.
Like, it was long.
And he had an aggressive mullet. I mean, he cut that thing off like 90-degree angle at the ears and just the waterfall in the back. That to me, that's 1980s, early 90s hockey. When I think of that, I think of Jagr's mullet. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
YouTube some of the videos of him, like when he first came over to play for Pittsburgh, like I think one of the first things he bought was like a jean tuxedo because he just wanted to look like North American. Yeah. And like he'd drive his Porsches. He told me he got some crazy speeding tickets of just, he was just a young stud in the NHL. Just he was the best. And he deserves a lot of credit for how good Barkov is, because Barkov kind of gravitated towards him, and then those guys would just go to the rink all day and put in work. And I think that the work ethic that Barky has a lot comes from Yogs.
Yeah,
I had a dumb thought the other day when I was watching hockey. Do we underestimate how athletic the referees are in hockey?
So I was telling my buddies the other day, like down here in Florida, people don't know a ton about hockey, but the linesmen the guys who are breaking up the fights and calling out, like they're the strongest guys on the ice. Like those guys grab you and it's like, oh man, it's like your dad grabbing you when you're a kid. It's scary. Like they're big. They're all the linesmen are probably 6'3", like say 6'2" to 6'4", and massive men. The refs are a little smaller, but very athletic. Skating without a stick is, like, for me, if I'm skating without a stick, you feel naked. Like you don't know what to do. And the way that they skate around the ice, and, with 4 of them on the ice now too, there's not a lot of room for them to move. They're always in a good position. The refs don't get a lot of love. So, you got to give them. And then you see one of the Chickaroonie took a stick to the eye this year. He'll be doing the finals. He's one of the best in the game. Comes back a week early. I texted him a day or two. He's like, I'll be back. Like these guys take it serious, man. They love the game just as much as the players do. They take a lot of pride in what they do. And, hopefully that gets Florida some good calls this series.
And they don't come off the ice. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like we always say, like
McDavid,
he comes off the ice all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, even go public skating for 60 minutes straight, or even 20 minutes. They get a rest at in between the periods. But if you're standing up the whole time, like I don't know how goalies do it. I would take a knee every single time out if I was a goalie down the other end. I don't know how they stand that long. They're just well-oiled machines, all the refs and goalies.
Yeah. All right, last question, rowback question, rhoback.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Great Father's Day stuff at Rowback. Use promo code TAKE, 20% off. All right, you have Panthers, how many games?
I think it's going to go 6. I think they steal one on the road early and take care of business at home. And then, win it at home. I think winning at home, game 6 would be huge. A lot of that comes from I don't want to go to Edmonton for game 7. I think we'd have to go for that. So I'm really, really praying it's in game 6.
Yeah.
Do you have a mayor's bet with Whitney? A mayor's bet? Spin chickless mayor's bet? Yeah.
No, we actually should. You guys got any ideas?
Let's see. You could give him some. What's big in South Florida? Tusi.
Yeah.
All right.
You give him some Tusi, and then if the Panthers win, he has to just tweet Connor McDavid is a fraud.
Ooh, he would never do that.
He would never do that. He might kill me by the end of this series.
I know. I honestly think I think he wants you dead at some point. Like if you're in I don't know. I don't know if you bet on them or not.
I didn't.
I'm going to put some major money on the Oilers. Yeah.
I told him. So I figured it out. Like I was obviously busting his balls because we were texting about the Dallas series, and he's like, "You're rooting for Dallas." I was like, "No, dude, I'm rooting for the Oilers because I want them to lose in the final." And he said, I was like, I might even just bet on him, and he got very mad at me. I was like, you know what? I think this is actually where the line is. Like, I'm not going to bet on them because it might actually break up our friendship. So I'll go up to that line, but I'm not going to bet on the Oilers. I'm going to watch it as a fan. I'm going to bet over in game 1. But yeah, he might just take out all his anger on me.
Me and Big Cat, this is exclusive. We have been named to be fan ambassadors for the Edmonton Oilers.
Wow.
Yeah, which is huge. So now I'm pretty much part of the team.
That's huge.
Yeah.
You guys should go to the Moss Pit.
What's the Moss Pit?
Well, we know what the Moss Pit is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Moss Pit.
Yeah, the Moss Pit. That's what I said. Yeah,
I'll tell the listeners.
Live Moss.
Yeah. You tell the listeners.
It's a pit outside of their arena with a statue of Joey Moss, who was a guy that worked the visitors room for a long time. He had Down syndrome. He was the best guy ever. And I believe Wayne was the one who had him there. So he was there forever. And he passed away, but they have, a section outside of the arena where fans can watch the game all together. And, it's a gong show out there. And then even if they win or lose, they're fighting after the game. They just get into these absolute scrap. There'll be 2 guys in a Connor McDavid jersey just blasting each other. It's so good. And at the end of it, they're like, oh, good game, shake hands, see you later.
Yeah.
Unless they're coaches. But it's amazing. But yeah, that's awesome. You guys are ambassadors. Didn't Dave
he bet on
they'd
yes
that they'd
in
win
6 games. Yeah.
So here's if it does go to 7, he's going to be rooting for Florida, right? Because he'll be so pissed.
Yes.
So that's kind of the only reason I hope it goes to 7, so he can get all over Witt for that and be in Witt's ear. But Witt's a good fan. He's he is. He's a really good fan, and he played for the team. That was my only gripe with Biz with Toronto. Like he never played for the team. He never even played against them. Never mind played for them.
and Witt also, like, he's been riding hard. Like I know this is going to sound really silly, but if like the puck drop for the Eastern time zone in the playoffs is so fucking late, and he's just like, he's said it to us, like he just doesn't sleep during the playoffs but he's there, he's doing spaces in between periods. He's as diehard as it gets. So yeah, I'm not gonna push it too far and bet on the Oilers, but I'm gonna be watching and I'm gonna be having fun. I'm gonna watch as a fan.
Hell yeah, you should come down to Florida for a game.
No, well, Marlins fan, you got your seats with him
and all his cats.
Yeah. So yeah,
PFT's mom.
No, she's not going down there. The seats are for his cats. He owns cats, but he rents pussy.
Yeah. All right, Yans, you're the best. Everyone tune in to Spit and Chicklets All Stanley Cup Final. They'll have awesome. They're doing live shows. They're doing streams. They're doing everything. So tune in, and we'll see you.
See you, boys. Thank you.
Keith Yandle was brought to you by State Farm. That's right. In basketball, the great players don't just go it alone. They have teammates, coaches, and a solid support system behind them. It's kind of like insurance because, let's face it, a lot of us probably aren't great at doing that alone either. That's where State Farm comes in. State Farm is a teammate always ready to assist, help find the coverage that you need, and help you recover from the unexpected. From fender benders to storm damage or even just a question about your policy, State Farm is there to help provide an assist when you need it. Through the State Farm mobile app, a network of 19,000 local agents, and online at statefarm.com. So don't just go it alone. When you need help protecting what matters most, State Farm is there. State Farm, with the assist, coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability and eligibility vary by state. And Yans was also brought to you by Part of My Cheesesteak Breaking Moose.
Breaking Moose.
Part of My Cheesesteak has a brand new combo on its menu. Introducing the big one. An original classic cheesesteak, your choice of our brownie bites or donut dippers, and a drink, all for a discounted price. Perfect for a game day meal or late night eats, Part of My Cheesesteak offers a wide variety of cheesesteaks, loaded fries, and popular desserts, all delivered right to your door. With the big one, you get a classic cheesesteak, your choice of the brownie bites or the donut dippers, and a drink, all for a discounted price. Go to partofmycheesesteak.com to order with code PMC20, PMC20. Get 20% off at partofmycheesesteak.com.
Okay, Hank, FAQ time. Let's do it.
With Mount Rushmore season upon us, will the teams be the same this year? Will there be any twists? Love you guys. Thanks for providing content that helps AWOs get through our lives and distract us from hard times.
Oh, appreciate that.
Good question. We were just talking about this today.
Yeah, we're thinking through some things. I think we have should we just say the idea because it doesn't matter, it won't ruin anything.
Yeah, well, first I think Zach might be involved.
Yeah, Zach might be involved. So there's 6 of us. So I think we're gonna do teams of 2, 3 teams of 2, and what we're gonna do for a PMTV episode, we're all gonna sit in the conference room and do a Mount Rushmore draft that then we put out the poll, and then we'll just whoever finishes first will be linked up with the 6th place person. And that might be how we decide the teams. But I'm excited for Mount Rushmore season.
Zach, what do you know about Mount Rushmore season?
So I would assume Mount Rushmore being the 4 prominent presidents in the Mount Rushmore there.
Yep.
We're doing seasons based on such.
Yep.
This is some context clues.
And then where are we going back from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can move your
Zach,
mic so that you don't
Zach,
have to.
that's
Got you, my bad.
So Zach,
PT.
It's good. It's good figuring that out. So the 3 operative words are Mount Rushmore season.
Season, yes.
And so you broke down Mount Rushmore, and then you described what a season was pretty good. What do you think we do during Mount Rushmore season?
I would assume picking out your Mount Rushmores of seasons, not seasons regarding to like winter, fall, spring, anything like that. The upcoming season of play.
Okay, so what we do is
close.
Yeah, you're close. I mean,
really close.
You know what Mount Rushmore is. You know what seasons are. So that's a good building block.
You're on the block.
But what we do is during the summer when there's no NFL, NBA, or NHL going on, is we have a topic on every show, and we have to submit our 4 best picks, like the 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore, that fit that category. So it would be like Mount Rushmore of the best NFL head coaches of all time. And then you'd have to figure out, if you were to make that Mount Rushmore, whose faces would you put on?
It's oftentimes way more dumb than yellow things was a big one last year.
Yeah, give us your 4 top yellow things.
4 top yellow things. Banana would be huge.
Yep.
Usually the big rafts at water parks are yellow.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good one.
Love a good yellow raincoat.
Yep.
Also love, sometimes the casino yellow chips be in a decent amount at the Hard Rock. They're like, I think in the
You're ready.
hundreds
Kid
of
might be a natural.
You might be ready.
Cheese.
What's on your Mount Rushmore of pizza toppings?
pizza toppings. 1-1, I'm probably going to go sausage, pepperoni,
Yeah.
ham.
Yeah.
Olive? Double olive?
No vegetables, top 4.
Okay, all right.
So we got sausage, pepperoni, ham,
Finish this off.
Bacon would be.
Yeah,
bacon.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's a really, really good
Wow,
Mount
you
Rushmore.
got all those 4. That's good.
Yeah.
What about Mount Rushmore green things?
Mount Rushmore green things. I'm going to go string bean casserole.
Ooh, okay, maybe not.
That's not bad.
Oh, they got the onions on top. Doesn't count. My bad. You're right, not green.
No. It's more just a terrible pick. But yeah.
Oh, fair. Super fair. Yeah, definitely. You got different green things than me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2 would be Xbox. 3 would be.
He's right on that. The green rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, their whole branding is green. Super green.
Yeah.
3, I'm going to go with a nice green pasture. Love a good field. Love good sighting of grass. And 4, I'm going to go palm tree. I love palm trees.
Okay. Money didn't make the cut.
It could be. I'll round it out. Maybe top 10. Yeah.
Okay. Green jacket.
St. Patrick's Day.
Top 15 green jacket. St. Patrick's Day is a great pick. That's a fantastic pick.
Thanks.
Okay. You're ready. You're ready. You're so ready.
Love you, Zach.
Yeah.
Love you too.
You're so ready. All right, Hank, what's the next one?
Hey, Big Cat, PFT, King Hank, and the guy who won't ever win the lottery ball. If you could take someone in PMT's talent, whose talent would you take, and what talent would the talent be? I know. I mean, PFT playing guitar. That would be mine.
Yeah.
Maybe Hank's leaping ability.
Memesing ability. Like a knowledge of the internet.
You know what I would
It's pretty
take?
high up there.
It is. But it's also
I
kind
feel
of
like you have that.
Not to Memes' level.
he might be too knowledgeable.
Yeah, Memes has everything. He literally just like
But that's not something I would
he
take.
closes
Something
his eyes and the internet runs.
I would take something
through
that I
his-
have 0 of and a super
Got it.
edition. You have knowledge of the internet. You would just be slightly upgrading.
So why wouldn't you take PFT's driving ability?
Because I'd rather I can't. It's the same thing. I can drive. It would just be a slight upgrade. I'd rather
Can
go
you?
from 0 to 100.
Are you talking about like a car?
No, I would. That would be a major downgrade.
For a second, I thought that's what Big Cat was getting at. Yeah. I would probably take Max's singing ability. People
Very
don't know
good
that
singer.
about Max. Max, he's got some pipes.
Very good singer.
I mean, the PFT's guitar is just the answer.
Yeah, it is.
Or maybe flying. Plane flying.
Simulating?
Yeah, you take my ability to pretend to fly a plane.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking good at that.
Okay.
Yeah. Max's hot dog
Yes.
catching ability.
Yeah. Facts.
Last one. Longtime AWL, first time caller. One question. Fuck, marry, kill, JOC, Wit, Russillo.
Oh,
This is so easy.
Okay, you go ahead.
yeah. Hank,
Well, Hank's
speak
killing
for us.
JOC.
Yes.
Fuck Russillo.
Okay.
Good looking dude. I'd marry Wit. Just golf all the time. Sit with guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you go golfing, you do that to get away from your wife, right?
No. I'd love to marry a girl who likes to golf. And I'd kill JOC. Happily.
Because you could then. I see what you're doing.
No comment.
Getting the competition out of the way.
No
Hank.
comment. No comment. No comment.
I would
We're in
not.
peace times.
So what would you do?
We're in peace times.
I think I'd probably marry JOC.
This is good. Keep going because we'll all do different answers.
And-
get mad.
I think I would kill Russillo and I would fuck Whitney. The ears are you could hold
Reebok
on.
earrings,
You
yeah.
could hold on to those ears. Yeah.
So I would marry Russillo. What's the combo that I need to do here?
You would
Kill
fuck,
JOC.
Fuck JOC. You already killed
no, you
JOC.
killed-
Yeah, so
but
I'd
you
marry
killed him.
Russillo.
You're killing Whitney,
Yeah,
which works for this moment.
Yeah. Also, you saying you'd kill Russillo, like, sorry, dude, you're dead. because he's going to hear that and be like, "Oh, PFT thinks he can take me."
He's got to defeat me.
For the record, I said it makes sense because he's mad at you right now.
Yeah, well,
I don't want him to listen to
he's
this.
Coming on. He's coming on Friday. He's mad at me for fair reasons. I might have said when he claimed that I was rooting against the Oilers against the Dallas Stars. I said actually that's not true. I'm rooting for the Oilers to beat the Dallas Stars and then lose in tragic fashion in the Stanley Cup final. He said that was sick, twisted, deranged. All fair. So really, actually, Whitney and I aren't in a beef. Everything he said, I agree with.
So you're on his side.
I'm on his side, so much so.
So if he hates you, then he's actually hating himself.
Right, and also hating the Oilers.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm so on his side. But yeah, he's going to come on after game 1 for Friday. We'll hash it all out.
I'll be honest. Any of those 3 guys catches.
Oh, I love them all.
For marriage.
I mean, those are those the 3 top guys in terms of guest appearances? Titus might be the only other one in there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We do this all the time.
Yeah, we do this.
Hey,
Whitney's number 1. So
Titus is 2.
Titus is 2, but Russillo's got to be up there, and so does JOC. I love all 3 of those guys. Fucking love them. Not Titus, just so we're clear.
I feel like JOC
Just talking about Whitney.
He's been on a run.
I also love Titus. Before we do numbers, real quick. Wait, what is it? You have it? We do this all the time.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's
go. Zach, real quick. This show's going to go out on Wednesday morning. By the time the show's out, you're going to be waking up to the biggest day of your life. Do you have any predictions or thoughts about your delivery of ice cream to this office, which will take place on Wednesday?
The prediction is satisfied customers.
Okay.
For the ice cream delivery.
Because Hank took a video of you and Jacob, the other part of the cream team, being talked to by the technician, and you guys took no notes for 2 hours.
I didn't want to be rude and pull the phone out right in front of Mr. Eric because he was doing such a great job explaining the process of cleaning and disassembling the machine. As soon as we were done with the live demonstration, I went straight to the Notes app and put some Spark notes in.
Give us 2 notes.
I can do that. One, you're going to want to make sure that you lube the drive shafts, but not the hex bolt at the end.
Okay.
And then also when you put that front fascia on for the drawer, you need to keep a steady hand on it so your seals don't fall because you don't want to leak.
Okay, so this guy, what he just said, he's the one who's standing between us and Listeria.
But I was very impressed with how he just recalled that off the top of his head.
He's ready to go.
Yeah. Do you have photographic memory?
No, not close. No, sir.
No. It was all filmed, so technically you can go back and watch tape on what the man was saying, Mr. Eric.
I heard a
game tape.
Little rumor from Mincy that the toppings might not be ready for Thursday or for Wednesday. That might get pushed back. We can't have the ice cream grand opening without the toppings.
Well, we can. I think we're going to have it. It's not the toppings because Mincy did not invent how to buy like Reese's and crush them up. It's the free toppings holder that he is holding us up with. So we will make do.
So Mincy will go out, buy the toppings, and then Mincy will crush them up?
No, I don't want him touching any of our food.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zach will do that.
Okay. The toppings have been secured. The holder we can work out. That's going to be a great display and a great way for self-service toppings. You want to fluctuate how much you want to do, but you're going to have toppings for ice cream tomorrow.
Okay. Zach, before tomorrow, tonight you got to go OG, run the ball, Green Bay power sweep, do the traditional McDonald's dinner. You have to have all your energy for tomorrow.
It's only right. It also feels like it's a good call. Yep,
yeah,
I agree.
Zach, have you tried the fries well done thing?
I did. I did. So the other day I meant to tell you I did go to the Small Chill, try the fries well done. I went one regular, one well done. I did enjoy the well done because they're a little hotter than the regular, so it almost felt like that came a little bit fresher. I appreciate the recommendation very much.
Yeah, a little life hack.
Huge.
It was.
Yeah.
It was great.
All right, good show, boys. Let's do numbers.
3.
That's memes.
That was memes.
77.
6.
11.
99 pug.
55.
95.
Zach's also
26.
1 for 1 on his tasks.
21.
Oh, he got new headphones. Got new headphones.
Nice work.
Memes, what was the number you guessed on Monday?
Zach gets things
I
done.
believe 6.
Okay, great. I have 6.
Zach, you're 55?
71. What'd you have?
77.
Oh, not that close.
Well,
The one
one's
looks
close
like
to
the
7.
7.
Yeah.
You want to do one more?
Yeah.
Let's do one more. Let's go, boys.
Same numbers.
Or should I say the word again and we all...
Okay.
What word?
Three.
That was PFT.
PFT.
I'll go 11.
6.
Come on, 3.
66.
74.
99 Pope. 53. 44. 21.
What was that number, Zach?
53.
Memes, what was your number?
11.
Did I say 74? What did I say?
Did you say 74?
This
I
is
said 70. No. I said 70 something. I actually can't remember.
You said 70.
this is
Did you say 71?
I think I said 74.
Everyone's,
Hank, what'd you
everyone's
say?
in the booth and cannot.
I said 66.
I'm pretty sure I said 74.
Hank, what'd
This
you
will
say
be the
Not
this will be the
74.
least.
You said 74.
No.
No, he said 77 last time. I'm pretty sure I said 74.
I said
Can someone go listen back? Go, Shane. Give us a ruling.
All right.
We're going to VAR. We're going to
We're going to
VAR.
VAR.
We're going to VAR. Where are you going, Hank?
Gotta pee.
He's got to pee. Hank's got to pee.
You can't take a pee during this.
This is
will
gonna take
I'm
so
going to
long.
suspend myself for one lottery ball if I'm wrong. That's
But
fair.
you think that you got it?
I think I said 74.
You got to know your number.
I know. There's so many numbers.
But you just have to remember the one that you said.
No, but this is fair. If he's saying that maybe
I will
74,
suspend myself.
but then there's a punishment if you get it wrong.
Yeah, that's fair.
What happens
Yeah.
to memes if
Well, I mean, I've already gotten it.
Could,
Twice?
I know, but
could anything worse happen to him?
yeah. I need Zach to get it bad.
Oh, so bad.
That's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
Zach, it's not hard.
How about Zach gets your number?
I think memes is coming soon. The 3's gonna hit.
No,
You're not
Zach.
allowed
All right, that was
you're
the
not
first
allowed to do
mistake
that.
you've made.
You're
That
not allowed
was
to
the
do
first
It's
that.
mistake
also
you
kind of
made.
patronizing, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
We don't
that's
make
true.
mistakes.
Was that a patronizing? You think Memes is going to get it?
No, I think statistically, if you keep riding 3, it's gonna hit.
You think so? Yeah! Let's go!
Shane doesn't know shit.
74 in your
Yeah.
face, Memes.
Congrats, big cat.
VAR.
Shane dressed like a
VAR
toddler
comes
today.
through. Memes, look at me. Do you see how fucking easy it is, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all Shane's fault.
What? Why is it Shane's fault?
He's copying everybody's glasses.
Wait, what? We got a glass in? Do we have a controversy in the booth?
Memes just did like 5 Shane insults in a row.
I like this. Like so many. We have so many dudes in a booth right now.
So many.
5 dudes in a booth.
Zach, are you Italian?
There's 6, by the way.
Not super sure on lineage. And
6.
confirmed white.
I didn't even see Wiper back
This
there.
is white.
Count it. No way. 74. Memes. Hey, dude, isn't it crazy that he can't get this?
What are you pointing at?
It's so easy.
I'm pointing at you.
Yeah, Hank got it.
I was pointing at. for
Not
the-
only that, but I just got the first ever VAR
Hank has
lottery
Yeah, but
ball.
nobody's gotten it.
What?
Big Cat got it. Nobody else has gotten it.
I've gotten it like 5 times.
What are you
You guys,
talking
you guys
about?
are just living in the past.
That was like my 3rd time. And I just did. I also just got
Congrats,
the first
Big
ever
Cat.
VAR.
Nobody else has gotten it in the past.
What-
5
I've gotten it in
minutes
the past.
besides-
No, yeah.
Yeah,
gotten in
no,
the
no.
past. Yeah,
Have you
actually,
gotten it in the
almost
past?
It's like,
everyone
I've
has
gotten
gotten
it.
it
No,
in
I've
the
got a couple
past.
times.
This is like
yeah.
this is like the Super Bowl all over again. That was so far ago.
I got it a couple times.
I literally got it two
No,
minutes
congrats to
ago.
you. Nobody else has gotten it.
Oh,
Hank, did you
That's
know
also,
that?
also not true.
In the past 5 minutes.
Did you know that Shane's stealing people's glasses?
yeah. We got a problem in the
He's
booth.
copying.
PFT, have you gotten the lottery ball?
I've gotten it twice.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, good.
Look at all our boys with their headphones on.
And glasses. I don't know how I feel about that.
We got 5
Yeah, no,
headphones.
he's just copying.
It's blue light.
Oh, those are.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what, Shane? That's fucked up. That you would buy glasses. They. I can't believe they made more than one pair of those glasses. That was a joke in your defense, Shane.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Love you guys.
VAR.
Love you too.